And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internets, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere, and I don't know where to start. First of all, Charlamagne, radio show host, the guy who Joe Biden said, hey, if you don't know whether you want to vote for me or Trump, then you ain't black. He says he gets calls from the Biden administration when he's too critical on the president. What's up with that? We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, New York City, crime and violence. What's new? There's a whole lot going on there. We got migrant riots. We got the residents protesting. We got a little bit of everything. We got the mayor paying these people $53 million. We got the mayor kowtowing to them, but at the same time talking about how he doesn't want them there and they should be deported, while at the same time being a sanctuary city and state from the governor, Kathy Hochul. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Sam Bankman-Fried is locked up in a Brooklyn federal detention center, and there's a picture of him that surfaced in an interview with the young gentleman by the name of G-Lock, who was right next to him in the picture. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, MS-13 highlighted a ranked list of presidents from best to worst. Who was the top pick? Who was the bottom pick? We'll talk about all these things and more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And thank y'all again for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these internets. If you like what you're hearing so far, if you enjoy the content in general, if you enjoy the channel, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. We got a whole lot happening tonight. There's quite a few videos I got to get through. There's a lot. We got some breaking news. We got a little bit of everything going on. But first things first, shout out to you guys. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. I could not do the show without you. Shout out to the sponsors as well. Y'all know how we do. Shout out to patriotpost.us, your best source of news and information anywhere on these internets. Their link will always be in the description, or just type in patriotpost.us in your browser. Tell them that ABL sent you. Also, check out ablmerch.com. That is ABLmerch.com. We got the hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more right there on the site. Again, ablmerch.com. Also, go to my regular website, anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. There you can find articles on the front page for each video that I produce. And in each article, I have verified sources from left, right, independent, politically agnostic, local, national, international, whatever you need, I got full videos. I have whatever you need to verify whatever I post on the website, anthonyblogan.com. Also, go to the contact page, anthonyblogan.com/contact, to find my email address, my email address, my social media accounts, my Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, never going to call it X. All those links are on the contact page of the website. And as I always say, if you are ever wondering if you're conversing with me or not on these interwebs, there's a few things you can do to verify this. First thing, just go to the contact page. If the method of communication does not match what you are conversing with, then I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it's not me, all right? It's not me, and you might be in the center of a scam. You might be in the process of getting scammed. So it's not me. Don't fall for it. If the email says I weigh 275,000 pounds and I live in Lithuania and I'm laying in the open field and it's 5 degrees outside and I got borched, poured all on my face 5 times a day, 7 days a week, and I just scam people on ABL channel for a living at gmail.com, that's probably not me. And if you happen to get on the phone with somebody and you're talking to them, you're like, hey, is this ABL? Big fan. This is ABL, my friend. You've caught me today. This is them. I'm not streaming today, huh? I'm not streaming today. You've caught me on a good day. Please send the gift card to the email in the chat, in the WhatsApp. Please send it today. I don't have time. We don't have time, man. We don't have time. Oh, we don't have time to waste. Please send the gift card today. You send me 10,000 naira, I'll give you a full back. So wait a little bit for me today. If it sounds like that, I guarantee you it's not me. I don't talk like that. I mean, maybe I do sometimes when I'm just playing games, but generally that's not how I talk. So please, oh, please, oh, please don't get scammed. Don't nobody got no time for you to get scammed by some bald-head Nigerian dude in a hovel somewhere in Lagos that's 10 square feet with 100 other people in it. Don't nobody got time for that. It's 2024. You guys, please protect yourself. All right. A Nigerian shack would be crazy. I can't even really see. Look, I'm kind of breaking into it, rolling the R's for no reason. That's wild. Shout out to you guys. But yeah, please be careful. Don't nobody get scammed. Don't nobody got time for that. If you are ever wondering if you're conversing with me or not, just double check on the actual contact page, and that'll get you everything you need to know. All right. There is a lot we got to get through, actually. There's a whole lot going on. Hey, I've never been scammed before. Well, they've tried to scam me, but I've seen some emails from you guys that you have gotten scammed. Like furious emails. ABL, I trusted you. I thought you were a great American patriot. It's like, I am a great American patriot, but Adewale Ongulaye from River State in Nigeria is not a great American patriot. You were talking to him, not me. All right. And that Lithuania guy with 18 Z's in his last name is also not a patriot. He is a 200,000 pounder. He's a heavy pounder, not a patriot. Okay. So yeah, it's not me. I promise. I'm on the up and up. I'm all good over here. So please, oh, please, oh, please be careful. I'm just here for you guys. I don't want you to get scammed. All right. So we got a lot going on. There's some breaking news. Can I get into this right quick? Just because it came across my timeline right now. Now, you guys may or may not know who Kodak Black is. We're gonna talk about some rappers today a little bit because I gotta talk about Kodak Black right quick because this just happened. This is crazy. And there's a connection with the political stuff because Kodak Black actually got pardoned by Donald Trump. Okay. And he was going to Mar-a-Lago a lot. This guy was really kind of around Trump a little bit. Okay. And he's from Florida. Let me see if I can find him right quick. Kodak Black and Trump. Yeah. There's a picture of him. And by the looks of things, he should have went ahead and kept Kodak in the penitentiary. Okay, I don't think I see a picture of Kodak and Trump together, but I think I see, yeah, well, here we go. Okay, I got a picture of Kodak, and he had MAGA hats. He was doing all kind of stuff, right? Now, let me see if I can find a picture of Mr. Kodak, also known as Bill Capri. I don't know why he changed his name to Bill Capri. That was really random. But you'll understand why I'm talking about Kodak Black in a minute, so y'all just hang tight. All right. Now, this is Mr. Kodak. Okay. Well-known rapper, Kodak Black from Florida, obviously. If you couldn't tell by his hairstyle and his gold teeth, he's from Florida. Now, again, he was pardoned by Trump. Remember, he was in jail, prison, whatever, got let out by our president, Donald Trump. Now, Ray J, as I've mentioned before, is really close with Trump, which is part of the reason why Ray J's cousin Snoop said that Trump is not a bad guy. I got nothing but love and respect for him because I think Ray J might have been instrumental in Harry O being freed from the penitentiary, also by Trump's doing. Harry O was one of the founding members of Death Row, which was a label that Snoop was on that launched his career with Suge Knight, Tupac, and the whole thing. Okay, just so you understand. So I'm sure Ray J brought Kodak. That's Trump right there, and that's Kodak Black. They're at Mar-a-Lago. All right. I'm sure Kodak threw on his best polo shirt in lieu of a suit because that's pretty much all he had. All right. So you follow me? Kodak Black, rapper, in jail, gets released by Trump, goes to Mar-a-Lago wearing the MAGA hat, conservative, all this and that. Now, let's fast forward to today. Now, he found himself in jail again after he got released by Trump, which lets me think he should have just got left in there from the beginning. And when he was released from jail, he threw rocks at the reporter. You can't make it up. As he's being released from jail, he's committing more crime. Leave him in there, please. I know Trump wanted to do the right thing and his heart was in the right place. And some of the pardons might have been good pardons. But this pardon, obviously not a very good one. Let's check it out.
I've been doing this a long time, and let me tell you, this is one of the strangest things I have ever seen. Not only did he get aggressive with my photographer, Brian Murphy, but he actually started throwing rocks at this photographer. Simply doing his job, Kodak Black started throwing rocks. I want you to listen to this for a moment. Don't throw anything at our camera. Don't throw anything at our camera. Don't throw anything at our camera.
Call the cops.
Hey, Kodak, somebody said big rocks, little rocks. He might have had big rocks and little rocks, but I think mostly little rocks outside of this random place. Okay.
So what happened after that, and we have more audio that we'll play for you later tonight, Kodak Black threatened to punch me repeatedly. And, we didn't back down. We're simply doing our job, trying to get this guy coming out of the Broward jail, and you'll see him here.
So that's Kodak right there. Now, one thing about Kodak, a little bit of background for you guys who don't know about this person, obviously. Like I said, he's a rapper, very well known. He was pardoned by Trump a while ago, probably about, 2-3 years ago. And now he can't stay out of jail. I think the thing with him is that he's a dope fiend. Ultimately, the drugs are getting him. He had a song where a lyric said, "I tried meth and I liked it." I'm not making it up. I tried meth and I liked it. And then he was on a live stream one time appearing to be completely just drugged out. And not only on a live stream, but he was on a podcast, Drink Champs podcast. He appeared to be high as high could be. And going back to Ray J, the guy who probably brought him there to meet Trump and Mar-a-Lago, Ray J was saying, hey, you guys shouldn't have had him on the podcast. He was obviously out of his mind. Something was wrong. Kodak responded, ain't nothing wrong with me. I'm okay. Obviously, he's not okay. Obviously, something's wrong. If you are committing crimes by throwing rocks at the journalists as you're being released from jail, something's not really right with you.
He's been behind bars since December. He was a violation of probation. He was actually free today. He comes out of the Broward jail. I walk up those steps and there's Kodak Black. And the first thing, I was alone without a photographer. He threatened to punch me. And then our photographer gets up there, and you saw it there on the video. Now, I don't know if we have the capability to do this, but if we can listen to that sound one more time, I want you just to see.
Now, they don't play the sound here. Let me see if I can skip forward a little bit.
A reporter actually throwing a rock, several rocks at a photographer, hitting him in his ribs. And all of this began earlier today, and we covered Kodak Black, who was in federal court. He was in federal court. He's from Pompano Beach. He was before a judge. He accepted a deal, pleading guilty.
So that's what's going on with your man, Kodak Black, a.k.a. Bill Capri, very well-known rapper who assaulted a reporter as he was leaving jail after he was in court, a federal court, and he had pled guilty. So he's probably going to go back. You get a pardon, and you keep going back to jail over and over again. I mean, I don't really get it. If it's me and I'm a criminal and they give me a pardon, I'm never going to go back again. I'm never going to do anything. If I smoke crack for a living, I'm going to stop that day. I'm going to go cold turkey. I'm not going to go back if I'm given a second chance at life. That's crazy. I think, okay, check it. Here's my thought process about pardons. Now, I'm not going to say Trump was wrong for giving the pardon out, because sometimes you will do a thing thinking it's the right thing to do, and then maybe it's not right. It's not the right thing to do. But here's my take on pardons. If someone is given the pardon and then they recidivize, they go out and do a similar thing or something else, they get into more trouble. Whatever the original sentence was, they should go back and serve it. So let's say, for example, you were pardoned off of a 15, 20-year life sentence. You get in any more, it should be like a probation. you get in any more trouble, then go ahead and go back. That's pretty much what I would say about it. All right. So, yeah, that's what's happening with your man Kodak. I had to cover that because that just happened. This video that I was responding to was posted at 8:07 p.m. Eastern time. So just a few minutes ago, right when I first started the stream, the video was posted. Actually, I think the video was posted after I started. So I had to go ahead and cover that. Now that's happening. We're going to keep on moving here. I got a few more things. And happier news, shout out to my governor, one of my governors, back in my home state, back in my old birthplace, not birthplace, back in my old stomping grounds in Virginia, Glenn Youngkin. There was a March for Life, and we have Glenn Youngkin marching with the marchers. All right, let's check it out. And RIP to the headphone users, pardon me. Let's go ahead and watch it here.
Thanks for coming out.
So you see my man Glenn Youngkin right there in the center at the Virginia March for Life. And as you guys know, March for Life, this is a pro-life movement. So shout out to him for being out there as a governor at a political event like this in Virginia, which is really a blue state. But Glenn Youngkin was able to win. I was very surprised when he won. Very surprised that he was able to win in a place that is heavily dominated by the politics of Washington, D.C.'s metro area. When I was a kid, it wasn't like that. Virginia was a red state when I was a kid. 80s, 90s, it wasn't this way. But as government has gotten bigger and bigger and bigger, then so has the population of Northern Virginia, full of government employees, a lot of liberal people, not just politicians. That has not really changed. I'm talking about the employees, the deep state, the permanent federal people that get government contracts and all kind of money. They live right there in Arlington and Fairfax and Loudoun, all that area right there. So for him to win in a place heavily dominated by these people was very impressive. So shout out to my man Glenn Youngkin out there at the Virginia March for Life.
Thanks for coming out.
Right on. Shout out to my man Glenn Youngkin out there at the March for Life in Virginia. Now, speaking about pro-life and abortion and things like this, Alabama's largest hospital, they halted IVF treatments in response to a state Supreme Court ruling that frozen embryos are classified as children under the state law, making them subject to legislation relegated to the wrongful death of a minor if destroyed. All right, let's check it out.
I'm angry. I'm sad. Just a whole slew of things.
34-year-old Jasmine York turned to IVF to get pregnant, but now her dream of having another child has come to a sudden halt.
Is IVF your last hope to have a baby?
Yes, there is no other way.
This morning, York got a phone call from her fertility doctor at the University of Alabama with the news. The hospital system is pausing all IVF treatments while it takes a closer look at the state Supreme Court's ruling that frozen embryos are considered people. In a statement to CBS News, the University of Alabama says it is saddened, but we must evaluate the potential that our patients and our physicians could be prosecuted criminally or face punitive damages for following the standard of care for IVF treatments.
It is disturbing and ironic that the judgment in this case talks about trying to promote families and help people, and yet they are doing exactly the opposite.
The Alabama court's ruling could also have a chilling effect nationwide.
How can we help our patients if we are going to be threatened with jail time or fines or crimes?
The problem is that there's so much legal action surrounding this issue that you have rulings that are made that can impact other things that may not have been the intended target. I think that's kind of what's going on from my point of view. Maybe you guys see something different, but I think that's what's happening.
For just doing our best to take care of our patients.
Like Alabama fertility doctor Mamie McLean.
Ultimately, we're worried that there's going to be fewer babies born in Alabama because of this ruling.
But tonight, Alabama IVF patients are left in limbo.
How scared are you for the future right now?
I am scared, but I do have hope still that this can get turned around and things can be made right.
And somebody said it right there. Go to a different state. Yeah, you can go to a different state. Alabama. I live not far from Alabama. Where I live is bordering Alabama and Georgia in Tennessee. So Alabama's right there. You can come to Tennessee if you need to. Come to Georgia. Florida is right there as well. That's where the acorn cop. Remember that whole story with the acorn cop? He thought the acorn that fell hit the hood of the car was the actual gunshot, and he thought he was shot. That was in Okaloosa County, Florida, which is right by Destin, Florida. And you guys know that's like the Redneck Riviera, right? Destin. Shout out to Destin. Good place. A beach community on the Florida Panhandle. That's by Alabama as well. Mississippi's right there. Indiana is not necessarily that far away. It's a little drive, but it ain't that far, depending upon what part of the state they live in. If they live right up north, past Birmingham, right on the Tennessee line, go straight up, it's right there. Kentucky, a lot of places, is not too far away.
Tonight, the University of Alabama told us it doesn't know how long IVF is on hold, leaving many women wondering if they'll be able to have a baby.
So a lot of this stuff is all part of a lot of other things going on surrounding the issue of abortion. Now, that's going to be an ongoing battle that I don't see into anytime in the very near future. So that's what's happening out there in Alabama. Now, I don't know where this particular thing is right here. Man, oh man, that's going to be kind of a crazy segue. That's going to be a wild segue. Hold on one second. Now, this is, I'm going to show you what I see all the time. Okay, here's how I'm going to give you this one. Here's how I'm going to segue into this next clip. This is what I see all the time at the grocery store between the 1st and the 5th of the month. Maybe the 31st, whenever the EBT cards get refreshed, whenever there's new monies on the cards, this is what I see. And this is why I know that a lot of the money that people get is just wasted. It's wasted on pure garbage. And you know what? You know what I wish? I have a dream. Here's the 2024 ABL I have a dream speech. I have a dream that EBT cards full of food stamp benefits would only be able to be spent on very specific foods. Okay? That's what I hope. I hope that if you get caught selling food stamps, you go to the penitentiary and make big rocks to little rocks. That is my 2024 I have a dream speech. All right, so let's go ahead and roll this right quick. All right. Come up, look. Get on your knee. Let me put a car. Okay, I'm not gonna play the music no more, but we see what's going on. I'll play it one more time for you guys. And before I play it again, I'm going to read the caption, and I'm going to read it in English. When that $3,000 food stamp balance hits the same day as your 7, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, 7 dependents income tax refund hits. Because you guys know how it is. You get the child tax credit. You get basically paid for your kids. You get that money and also the food stamp benefits. So when both of these things hit at the same time, we're going to the grocery store in pajamas with the kids buying a bunch of garbage. Look at the cart. This is what I see all the time at the grocery store. Hold on. I'm going to zoom in for you guys. Let's zoom in and get a real good look at what's happening. Okay. Look at these carts. Now, you're in the grocery store. You're right by the produce section. I don't see one actual stitch of produce, no actual food. I'm looking at juices. I'm looking at, hold on. And of course, you got to dance in the middle of it. I'm looking at Minute Maids. I'm looking at chips, value pack chips, Cheez-Its. Just everything's in the bag. Everything's in the box. Everything is just bad. It's overall bad. Pancake mix. Just instant, quick stuff with your pajamas on. You have on a black t-shirt with a heart on it, and your pants have matching hearts on it. So not only are you in the store buying garbage, you're buying garbage in your pajamas. See, this is what I'm talking about. And whenever I go, a lot of sweet drinks, whenever I go to the grocery store, especially Wally World, and to a certain extent, even the Target, as the cool kids say, I see this all the time, and I kind of get upset. I'm in there with my regular handful of food. I got if I go grocery shopping, I got chicken breasts, wild caught salmon, you know what I'm saying? Things like this. I got asparagus. I got that kind of stuff. I don't have boxed items. I only get one boxed or bagged item, and that's my Fritos. I like Fritos with some bean dip salsa. Oh, you talking about a delicacy? My goodness. But I don't have any of this garbage right here. Okay, we got good old water, H2O. You know what I don't see is water in there. And you know for sure they're not drinking any kind of tap water at all. You know for sure with 100% certainty they're not drinking any tap water at all. But I digress. I'm getting triggered. Hold on. Let me just fix this right here so I can get back to it. But yeah, that's what you're going to see. First, just go. If you've not done it, I'm sure you guys have seen people on the first on the first of the month at grocery stores. If you've not seen it, just go and see for yourself and see what they're doing. And then you're going to see if your tax revenue is being spent correctly. And then people are saying, well, you know what causes obesity is poverty. Really? Like, why does poverty cause obesity? Oh, because they don't have access to good food. You're in the produce section right there. You're literally in front of the produce section. You're right there. Like, what are we talking about? The good food's right behind you. Okay, get some raw chicken, some steaks. Do that. That'd be better than all the garbage you got in your bag. You can buy that with your food stamp money. You have a better ability as a so-called poor person to eat well versus a regular middle-class person who is scrimping and saving, trying to make ends meet with no government benefits. But I'm getting triggered, so I digress. All right. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right. We got a lot going on tonight. We have a whole lot happening. Let me see where I want to go next. Can we talk about what's happening? Oh, well, this might be a little bit of cringe. Now, I was speaking about the obesity epidemic and the food and things of this nature. And one thing people can say is, you know what? We need to have more exercise and things of this nature. Oh, and before I get to that, that might be a good tie-in as well. Someone says, I think this is, who is this? Says this, Denisha, you want to see the dance? Okay, I'll show you the dance. And then I'm going to show you some more dance that might be as cringe, but maybe not so much. And again, I'm going to turn the sound off for this. All right. So let's look at the EBT and Wally World dance because Miss Denisha says she wants to see it and her wish is my command. All right. So there we go. No music, but little kid, get out the way. All right. I'm dancing in front of my garbage. I'm dancing in front of my diabetes. I'm dancing in front of my hypertension, blood pressure, cholesterol. I'm dancing in front of my amputated foot in 25 years when they call me Big Mama and Soul Food. Okay, that's what I'm dancing in front of right there. But I got some more dances for you guys, okay? Now, that might have been a little bit cringe in the grocery store with a bunch of junk food in the carts filled to the brim. I got that for you, but check it out. Here is some more cringe. Now, I want you guys to feast your eyes on the NYPD dance team. Are you ready? If you're not ready, you better get ready because here we go. Check it out. Now, I can't play the music, but you know what's going on, okay? So, and as I play this, I want you guys to tell me, is this cringe? Is this a good thing that they're out here getting some exercise? Like, what's going on? You guys tell me. And also, how do you feel about the choreo, the dance moves? Are you inspired? Do you want to go do some of these moves? Oh, okay, we get on the ground, a little bit of floor work, a little bit of the Beach Boys action. Yeah, I'm with it. Looks good to me. Again, this is the New York Police Department. If you didn't know, New York Police Department dance team on Pix 11 on television. All right, the facial expressions. Oh, girl in the middle, she's a star, right? She might have been a cheerleader back in high school or something like that. So shout out to her. All right, they all might have been cheerleaders back at one point. But yeah, there we go. And you know what? Somebody said it. At least these appear to all be women. I don't see no Transformers. I don't see no twigs berries floating around the situation. I'm seeing all young ladies right there. All right. So, yes, these are police officers, NYPD. This is the NYPD dance team. So, what's your verdict? Do you think this is cringe? Do you think this is a thing that's okay? You know, a little bit of R&R. It's all fun. You can't just be out on the streets slapping migrants upside the head. Well, not really doing that. You can't just be in the streets eating donuts, maybe issuing a strong word to the migrants. You can't just be doing that because you can't lock anybody up, really, because they're getting zero bail. So you can't just do that all the time. Why not have an outlet to express yourself in a positive way? So you guys let me know what you think about the dance moves, the choreo, and all that good stuff. Again, NYPD dance team. Not cringe? Hey, there it is. Not cringe. I'm not going to do a poll. I'll just look at the comments and see what it says from there. I'm getting a lot of cringe, a lot of not cringe, a little bit of everything. Dead Mike, Dead Mike, like the BBW said, they could detain me anytime. All right, Dead Mike, I got you, boss. Hey, man, no shame, no hating, man. If you like it, I love it. It's all good. Shout out to the NYPD officers out there on the dance team. All righty. Now, let's get back to reality a little bit with NYPD and what they're dealing with in the migrant facilities. Okay, let's watch this. Now, context. This is at the migrant camp. I forget what they call it. Let me see what they call it. This is, hold on. Where is this? This is Randall's Island. At the Randall's Island migrant shelter, they were trying to make an arrest, and migrants were fighting back. Like, nope, you're not going to arrest me. I'm going to do what I want to do. ABL, they want to come and work. They want to come and pick the fruit and make the beds. They want to come and be real Americans that you don't want to be. They want to do the jobs that Americans don't want to do. I can't tell. No trabajo in la shelter. No trabajo at all. Look, you know what? If I'm an officer, I'm not doing all this wrestling. I'm not doing all this extra stuff. Flash bang, boom. Flash bang, smoke bomb, tear gas. Don't nobody got no time for the extra stuff. Okay, let's just go ahead and clear it out. I'm not trying to be in there wrestling. I'm not trying to get hit in the back with a steel chair. This ain't WWE. You're not Stone Cold Steve Austin. We're not playing these games, okay? Flash bang, everybody on the ground, get everybody tied up. And really what should happen is that they shouldn't be here. Okay. These are migrants at what they said. This is Randall's Island. In that tent shelter, this is where they are trying to arrest somebody. And the migrants are fighting back because they don't want to get arrested. I don't got no time for that. Flash bang. Oh, I'm going to give you fair warning. Come with me. You're under arrest. You don't want to do it? All right, well, take this. Bada bing, bada boom. Hammer 1G says patrol cops don't have flashbangs or smoke. You know what? Rather than spending $53 million on these migrants' gift cards that they get in to go buy drugs or whatever else they want to do, rather than spending money on that, we could spend money on giving them a tactical unit that they can deploy in these situations. It makes sense to me. If they don't have it, give it to them. You got the money. If you could cut money from the city resources to give to the migrants, you can also take some of that money to police these individuals. Why not? See, now they're throwing stuff. It's getting out of control. It's a whole riot in there.
Oh my, no.
And word on the street is that migrants get more actual assistance in terms of real dollars in shelters than residents do. Friend of mine told me, give me a tip. I ain't gonna say nobody's name. He was like, hey, I got a friend in the shelter, and my friend says that the migrants get more than he does. Now, I don't know why his friend's in the shelter. I'm not trying to get into anybody's business. You never know what's going on. You know, it could have been anything that happened to him. You never know what's happening. But the reality is regular taxpaying citizens, American citizens, are being kind of pushed to the side in favor of the migrants in a place like New York City. So there you go. That's what's happening out there at the tent shelter. But again, I was told that the migrants are not here for any kind of violent purpose. That's what I was told, but I can't tell what's going on. All right. And speaking about New York City and the crime, we have the Gucci store getting robbed at gunpoint, broad daylight, 12 noon. Now, this is in the meatpacking district, Manhattan. Imagine you got two guys and one girl. The two guys had masks on. The one girl barefaced. They're pulling out guns. Everybody go on the ground and they're going to rob the Gucci store. Now, when I first heard this story, I thought that it was going to be a smash and grab. We've seen these all over the place. I covered the story. I believe it was in the Atlanta metro area, but they did a smash and grab at Lululemon. They just took all the stuff and ran away. There was no guns involved as far as I know. They just took stuff and left. But in this situation, it was an actual armed robbery. You see, they're elevating the danger level because there's no punishment for the lower level things. Again, if you can stomp officers out as illegal aliens right there in Manhattan, New York City, Times Square, and when you get arrested, you get released with no bail and you're able to actually flee, and they got to do a nationwide manhunt for you. If that's going on and you see it, then the message to criminals is you can do whatever you want and it's not really going to be a big deal. Okay? You can rob a Gucci store at gunpoint, 12 noon. Who's going to do anything to stop you? Nobody. And they did get away. They had a getaway car and all that. Broad daylight, everybody could see him, and nobody did anything to stop him. There's been no arrest as of right now. Maybe they will be, but how are you going to get anybody? There was no deterrent to stop him from doing it. All right, let's check it out.
Craig and Vanessa, well, police say that one of the three suspects was armed with a gun when the group entered and robbed this Gucci store here behind me on West 14th Street. And it is a robbery that has completely shaken up neighbors in this area. Surveillance video shows the bold and brazen robbery unfold. Three suspects, a woman and two men, can be seen entering the Gucci store in the meatpacking district yesterday around noon. One of them appears to pull out a gun before ordering everyone to get down on the ground. The group then takes off with several pieces of luggage as well as other items worth more than $50,000.
It's terrible. It's awful. And I think we've got to, it's disgusting.
Several display shelves were cleared and some security cables are now broken.
Not that surprised, to be honest. There seems to be, I wouldn't say an uptick, but a decent amount of crime throughout New York City. And, it's not surprising when it comes to this neighborhood. I think the use of a gun is particularly disturbing.
Last week, Governor Hochul announced a new plan to combat a rise in retail theft. She plans to budget $25 million for a statewide enforcement unit.
Now, look, do you guys think that money is going to solve the problem? Like $25 million, what's that going to do? Explain what money could do. They're saying that the money is going to go toward places being able to ward off the robberies. What are you really going to do about guys going into the store at 12 noon in New York City with all people, witnesses, everything around? What are you going to do to prevent that with money? What needs to happen is you got to revamp the system. First of all, you got a lot of these migrants committing crimes. That's one thing. So if you just cut down on the migrants you allow into the city and you're no longer a sanctuary city, then maybe that might, put a dent in it. And I heard that they want to, quote unquote, relax or revisit how they conduct business with ICE. What does that mean in layman's terms? Well, they don't want to be a sanctuary city or state anymore because they're being overrun. Maybe what Greg Abbott is doing and others are doing is working, because when it's not on your backyard When it's not right in front of your face, it's not really a big deal. But then when you got to deal with it, all of a sudden now it's a big deal. So yeah, let's not be a sanctuary city and state in New York City, New York State, respectively. And also, when you're talking about criminals that get arrested, how about keeping them in jail? You got guys on videotape stomping out police officers and you let them go with no bail? Why? You got guys barefaced robbing a Gucci store at gunpoint 12 noon. When they get arrested, are they going to have bail? No bail? Like, what's going on?
That would build cases against organized theft rings and increase penalties for assaulting retail workers.
You wonder how much this is going to keep going and get more intense or be more aggressive. No matter, if you're the store over here or another store down the block, it hits all of us.
We spoke to a sales executive at the Breitling store located near the Gucci. He says in high-end stores, theft is a concern, but the main focus is always to protect employees and customers.
Real strategy we look at that works in the sense of the safety of our employees is not to engage. We're not trying to stop them. How are we going to stop them? What would that really do besides hurt someone or create a legal issue? So again, we leave it to the cops.
And you know what? One thing about New York City and the money that Kathy Hochul proposed to spend on this, New York City loves to lose money. Remember Bill de Blasio's wife lost $1 billion? I'm not making it up. Hold on. Well, it was almost $1 billion. It was about 900. Now, actually, hold on. Now, one headline, they say that de Blasio and his wife wasted $1.8 billion, but Bill de Blasio's wife specifically lost $850 million US dollars. Okay, lost it. Can't account for it. Hold on. Look at this. You see this? This is on Daily Mail. This is from 2019. Where has $850 million gone? Bill de Blasio's wife can account for a staggering amount of taxpayer money that the New York mayor gave her mental health project. All right. Charlamagne McCray was assigned an $850 million budget for her Thrive New York City program, but records show scheme has failed to keep track of what it spent the money on. A small amount of data that was collected shows it fell far short of targets. Despite that, organizers have expanded the budget to $1 billion over 5 years. All right. So if you can actually lose $850 million, $25 million 5 years later with inflation going through the roof, it's nothing. That's a drop in the bucket at this particular point in time. A drop in the bucket. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, let's get to the New York City residents talking about what's happening in the city and their frustrations with the actual leadership from Eric Adams and others in city council and beyond. Let's check it out.
You said you couldn't believe that he's doing this during Black History Month.
Well, when we say he, not necessarily the mayor, it's the city, DSS and DHS. You know, they're doing this. They snuck them in here in Harlem with no transparency. You know, we coming out and we see bunk beds being moved in. What's going on?
Now, the context is that there was a quote unquote luxury apartment in Harlem, a recently built luxury apartment building, and they were moving migrants in there. Now, Eric Adams finds out about this and stops it. Well, so he says. He says this will not be used for the migrants. We'll see what happens in the future. For right now, he says one thing, but that might change in the future.
And nobody was aware that this was happening. No one. I reached out to every elected official in the 70th Assembly District, and no one knew anything.
Ruth, do you believe them, the elected officials, when they say they didn't know what was going on?
No.
This was a surprise to them.
I don't believe that.
So what's been the reaction from the people of Harlem?
Well, of course they're upset. They're outraged. I mean, they've been overlooked for so long. How do you think you would feel if you have a brand new luxury building, as they describing it, and people are living sometimes 2 and 3 generations in one apartment, and now you don't even want to give it to them. You want to bring outsiders in. Like, what does that look like? You got to take care of the residents that are already there.
Now, look, I said this in my video when I covered this earlier in the week. There's no incentive to do anything for the residents of the city especially not the community in Harlem, New York City, because you guys are going to vote Democrat regardless. There's no incentive. Who cares? It's like, look, if it's no real productivity, if there's no reason to do anything for you, then they're not. They'll just give resources to the other people because they see a better investment in them. That's all.
Sufferings. We can't do that any further.
Gilda, pretty much all of my friends that are in the city live in Harlem. And Harlem is a particular community.
Yes.
And they're already struggling when it comes to the education system. You got poverty rates there. You got black businesses that can't afford certain things. Was it a slap in the face to say, we have no resources for you, but we have resources for the illegals?
Well, absolutely. And just to know some of the statistics, there is 1 in 4 people of color in New York City that are rent burdened. And in Central Harlem alone, it's 44% of people who are rent burdened, which means a third of their income goes to rent. And in our community, we see our neighbors being displaced. We see our friends and our families being displaced because they cannot afford rent. So we were glad that Mayor Adams came to both of our community forums on Thursday and on yesterday. And so we are having a healthy conversation with him, as well as some of the other city commissioners, to rectify and remedy what has been going on.
They're not going to really do anything because the problem is very clear. The migrants coming in, taking up a bunch of resources. They got to put them somewhere. And where else are they going to put them? Right where you live at. You're not going to do anything about it. They're talking about they may change their vote for Biden, for Eric Adams or whatever. That's the only thing that matters. You could talk to Eric Adams all you want to, but if you vote for him again and you really don't change anything about... Listen, you vote for him again, you don't change your voting patterns, it's not going to be any different. You keep getting the same old results. That's just the long and short. That's the reality, and it is what it is. So I empathize with them and what they're going through with the migrants, taking over a lot of their facilities in New York City, making them cut resources. I empathize with that plight. But until you vote differently, until you change your behavior, they're not going to change what they do. You know, that's just kind of what it is. All right. Let's keep on rocking and rolling here. Oh, now, speaking about the migrants, we got gangs of migrants breaking into homes. I think this is going to be out west. I'm not quite sure. Let's watch and see where this is. This says Detroit, but I'm not quite sure if they are in Detroit. They're pretty much everywhere. Migrants, they're everywhere. Rent burden means that the cost of their rent is burdensome to their actual expenses. It costs a lot. It's the rent is too damn high, and I ain't gonna cuss no more. So that's my swear jar moment for the stream. But shout out to that guy. I remember him from back in the day running for president. That guy from New York City. That's kind of what's happening in the city right now with the rent. But let's watch this organized gang of illegal fake refugees breaking into homes.
Organized teams out of South America have been hitting high-end homes out west and now have made their home right here.
Typically in our area, it's between 5 and 9 p.m. Preferred targets on a lot of these across the country are homes that are isolated. They back up to wooded areas, trails, golf courses.
Homes here in the gated community at the Country Club of Detroit in Grosse Pointe Farms. The organized burglary teams hitting here over the last weekend, and if a home backs up to trees or woods, it becomes a target. Oakland County Sheriff Michael Bouchard first sounded the alarm in September after huge homes in Bloomfield Township were hit, then homes on private drives in Birmingham. The losses were in the millions.
They are targeting jewelry, precious metals, high-end items such as purses, electronics, currency, high-end watches, and if there's a safe that's not attached or they can either break into on scene or carry, they'll do that.
Organized team.
If the safe is on scene, if there's a safe there and they can't break into it on the scene, they'll just take the safe and break into it later. Again, these are organized gangs of the so-called migrants breaking into your home. But I thought that they were here to pick the fruit and make the beds, Mr. Barack Obama. I was told that they were here to do those kind of jobs. They are not supposed to be over here breaking into houses in the western Detroit suburbs. That's not what I was told, but here we are. They're everywhere. They are in the western part of the country, California, the left coast, as I call it. They're in Arizona. They're in Texas, of course. They are in New York, Chicago, everywhere. That's just what it is. And if you are a sanctuary state and/or a sanctuary city, you're going to invite. That's like a big red beacon, a big green beacon. Come on, come on over here. It's all good. You could get locked up and they're not going to deport you. That is the general message. All right. So, yeah, shout out to you guys out there in the western part of Detroit, Oakland County. Please be careful. Now, here we have a young boy in Texas doing what he needs to do to protect himself. All right. And in his own home, because saw somebody breaking in. It's like, you know what? Okay, I got something for that. So let's watch.
An individual approached a home. We're still trying to confirm if he was had opened the door or unlocked the door or had just pulling back and forth on the doorknob. It alarmed a teen male that was inside the home. He's, we're told, 14 years of age. He was able to retrieve a pistol and walk to the doorway. Again, we don't know if the doorway was open or unlocked or if he unlocked it from the inside. Those are details that we're trying to figure out. But the male spotted an unknown male that was outside the doorway at some point, and he began to fire multiple shots, several shots, at least 5 or 6 shots, striking the male, and the male was pronounced deceased here on the scene.
So long story short, unknown male trying to break into a home, young boy, 14 years old, at the house by himself, gets his pistol, hits the guy, deletes him, and now it's all good. He's safe. All right. So you got the migrants coming in, you got just regular home invader, criminal thugs coming in. The great equalizer is to protect yourself in your home. 100%. Now, before my tragic boating accident, I had all types of ways to protect the home. All types of ways. I'm hearing, listen, I've said it before. If I'm hearing some strange noises, some rustling outside, if I had guns, which hey, that's just, we can just imagine that I might have some weapons. If I'm hearing some rustling outside and I'm seeing my cameras, I got hitting cameras all over the place. If I'm looking on my phone and I'm seeing my cameras go off and I'm hearing some rustling, I'm going to get prepared in a good part of the home to be prepared in. Now, if the threshold of my actual home gets breached, it's going to be Chinese New Year. It's going to be a whole big celebration in there. All right. And you don't want to be part of this celebration. It's not going to be very happy. It'll be happy on my end because I'll be safe and secure. But whoever's on the other side of that, once my perimeter gets breached, once the boot hits the door and the door separates from the man, at that point, it's action. It's go time. But beyond that, I'm all about peace and love. I'm in here chilling, just minding my business, playing the video game, watching the YouTube video, having a good time with you guys. But when that perimeter gets breached, man, look, it's action Jackson. 1000%, but I digress. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. And here's something I wanted to show you guys. Do you guys use DoorDash? I mean, I'm not a big DoorDash person. I don't know if I trust random people to come to my house. Not really. And same thing with pizza delivery. I don't have things brought to my home. The only thing I have brought to my home is like Amazon stuff. But beyond that, I'm not quite sure I trust DoorDash. And I prefer to go pick up things myself anyway. If you use DoorDash, Uber Eats, or whatever, nothing against you. But I'm the kind of guy, as I said many times before, I'm the kind of guy I will order a pizza or 2 or 10 and go pick them up from the store and bring them back. I'm that kind of guy. I'm not really a pizza delivery, Super Bowl Sunday. That's not really me. It is what it is. But here are some interesting stories from DoorDash drivers about reasons why you might not want to use it depending upon where you live.
I want to know what happened to DoorDash, because somehow DoorDash quickly became call you when I'm in the lobby dash.
And started changing their names to women's names, and they started using that to their advantage. This is why I quit dashing, just because it scared the shit out of me. It became a safety concern.
Sorry for the cussing. It's not my fault. Blame the white woman.
There were so many weird things that happened during my time door dashing that the last 3 months, I literally brought a dude friend with me every single time. There were 2 big situations that happened that scared the absolute shit out of me and caused me to quit. One of them was an 80-year-old.
Now, she's kind of fast talking here. So she said she brings a dude friend with her all the time because she's been in some scary situations. Now, let's go back a little bit and see what she wants to say here.
Absolute shit out of me and caused me to quit. One of them was an 80-year-old woman. She said that she had COVID and she said she was in a wheelchair, and that's why she needed me to bring it to her door because she needed me to hand it to her in her hands. No big deal. Of course I'm gonna do that. Second I turned on that street, I got a horrible feeling. Call it God, call it fate, universe, whatever you want to call it. But something inside me said, do not text that person until you are back safely in your car. I was lucky that I did that because the second that I hit submit, that 80-year-old woman's door, no, that was opened by a 6'3" man who literally walked outside to see if he could find my car, and only once he saw that I had a dude sitting in the car with me did he immediately retreat, grab the food, and go inside. Finally.
Now, here's a question. Why would some 6'3" male lie about being an 80-year-old that can't walk? Is it because you don't want to go outside or you don't want to go too far to get the food? What is the purpose behind that? Do you want to lure this girl to your home? Is that kind of what's going on? That's scary.
Final straw was when this girl named Katie said she'd broken her leg and she lived in a fucking 15-floor story walk-up. She needed me to bring it to her door because, hello, broken leg, I totally understand that. Easy peasy, I'm gonna do that for you. Again, I bring my same dude friend with me because I'm not walking into a 15-story walk-up apartment that I don't know. When it came to delivering for women, I always wanted to be a little conscious of you don't probably want a man coming up to your door if it says that your delivery driver is a girl. So I was a little bit ahead of him, and I'm assuming that I just hit the peephole shot right before he did, because Katie, the broken leg bitch, no, that door opened and there were 3 grown-ass 30, 40-year-old men behind the door. They obviously peeped that I had my friend with me. They said sorry and tried to close the door without even getting the food. I was like, don't you want the food? And they're like, oh yeah, thanks. What?
Yeah, so it's crazy out here. People are really crazy. And you know what? Stuff like this happens and people don't really know what's going on. So when people say certain things about, well, you don't really feel comfortable if you're a female doing stuff like being a door dasher, you got to have a guy with you. People don't really understand. They're like, well, what's the problem? It's because you might have weird things where guys might try to lure you to their home and do something to you. Now, I kind of want to segue a little bit into something else because of the whole bathroom kerfuffle. This is almost related, but not quite. It's a similar essence and a similar spirit behind it. Let me explain. Now, some people, not us, we don't think this way. Some people think that if you identify as transgender, you should use the bathroom of your choice. Now, we know as people that have a brain that you're not going to have people that, how can I say this? Having transformers in the bathroom is bad enough, but you're also going to have regular plumber dudes in there that say, oh, I'm a girl today. You're regular. There's nothing about you that says that you want to be anything else other than Bob the Builder. What you want to do, Bob the Builder, is get access to women in their private space. And that happens all over the country since there's been some kind of etiquette or social code removed from the bathroom signs. It used to be, we respected that 100%. Nobody just, if you were a man going into the women's restroom, you might get assaulted. We didn't play that. It was none of that stuff going on. We didn't play it. The men went to the men's room, women in the women's room. That's it. If you had little kids, they would go in there with you. The only time you would go into a women's restroom is, well, I want to say that. The only time you would have genders cross into different restrooms if you got little kids. So you're a parent outside with your kids. Let's say you're a mom and you got your little boy. Your boy is 2 years old. Your little girl is 3 years old. You might take both of them with you in the bathroom, maybe, in that situation. If you got little kids, or obviously a baby, clearly, changing the diaper as a mother. But not to have some big grown football playing, chest hair, taco meat man in the woman's restroom. You are only there because you want to be in the woman's personal space. Now, I got a video example of what I'm talking about here. Y'all give me a second to load it up. All right, if I can find it, that'd be perfect. But this, I think, was a really good illustration of what's going on, because there was a man, he went to the bathroom. It was a father. It was a father with his little girl. The girl had to be probably about 5, 6, 7 years old, little girl. And he took her into the woman's restroom, okay? Or into, I think it was a woman's restroom. Just to make sure everything's good, he goes in there to make sure the coast is clear. He didn't want there to be a man inside the bathroom waiting on her, okay? So, watch this.
Let me go in there. Huh? Let me make sure nobody in here. Hello? See? There go man.
And look at this. See, this is the kind of guy that's going to be in the bathroom. And the reason why the dad went in there into the women's restroom is because he did not want this character to try and do anything to his daughter while he's on the outside. You see what I'm saying? And again, before there was some kind of etiquette, you wouldn't go and use the women's restroom. What are you doing in there? What's your purpose? It's not a unisex bathroom. This is a woman's bathroom. You're not in a place that's very busy. Why not go to the men's side? It's because he wants to catch some woman off guard, or maybe a little girl. You see what I'm saying? This is the reason why all this transformer stuff cannot be happening, because there's no more etiquette when it comes to representing, to respecting the bathrooms. You see?
There go man. There goes. There's a man. See what I'm saying? There's a man.
You smiling at him like, what you smiling at? Like, what is it to smile about? You know, so that is the kind of thing you got to worry about in 2024. So shout out to all the dads out there. If you got little girls, you taking them to the bathroom, make sure there ain't no man in there. Make sure the coast is clear, because, okay, you take her to the bathroom, let her go in, and he's in there. Now he has access to your child. So let's not do that at all. Right. What I would do if I had a little girl or my nieces or something like that, and we got to go to a bathroom, either I'm going to take her to the men's room. Well, I won't even do that. I'll take her to the women's room and make sure that I don't know what I would do. Like, what would you guys do? Take her to the men's room with you and make sure that is good. Take her to the handicap room or to the women's room. Make sure ain't no man in there, and then walk out and stand by the door. What do? Got to do a sweep. Shout out to Danny. Yeah, that's what you got to do. Got to do a sweep to make sure. All right. Let's keep on going here. Yeah, he ain't washed no hands. He was just in there just pushing buttons. He had no reason to be in there other than try to get a woman in a vulnerable situation. Take her to the men's room, Duke Raoul, is that what you think? Take her to the women's room, men's room. Take them with you, standing outside the stall, right? Yeah. Sheree says, I've had men ask me to take their daughters with me. That's a good idea as well. Absolutely. Handicap is best option. It's a hard decision. Women's room. Take her with you. I would say take her with you for sure. Take her to the women's room and just do a sweep just to make sure ain't nothing going on. Oh, of course, Ryan. If you have the family restroom available, that's probably the best option. Yeah, go there. That's the best option. The family room where you can sweep it, make sure anybody out there. A one-stall family room, sweep it before you let her go in there. let her go in. You stand outside the B guard, and then when she's done, y'all can, go about your business. That's probably the best way to go about it. All right, Duel says, ABL, at the club, you got 30 women lined up to use the bathroom and no lineup for the men's bathroom, yet you don't see women going to the men's bathroom. Exactly. Most people respect the bathroom signs, but a lot of these pervert men, which is going to be the majority, I'm not saying all men are like this, but there are perverts that exist. You have female perverts and male perverts, and you're going to have more males that do this than anything else. When you're talking about the whole locker room kerfuffle, your Leah Thomas and that old professor in Canada, these are all men invading women's spaces. You almost never see the reverse. A woman who now identifies as a male invading a man's space. I've said it before. I think I said it on Anton Daniels' channel. Shout out to my man, Anton Daniels. When I was on the Jubilee show, when I was on Jubilee and they had a transformer.
You start at the.
All right, I'm going to show you guys a transformer again. This particular person right here.
When you start to self-actualize, you start at that age.
This person right here. This is a woman, a biological woman who now identifies as a man. And people who are watching this on YouTube were like, oh, I couldn't tell. I thought it was a man, a real man. But in person, this individual right here is about 5'2" and petite. You're fun size. Okay. You shave that beard off and get out them dude clothes. You'd be you look Alicia Keys, a dark skinned Alicia Keys. get the long hair, all that. You be looking like a regular actress from back in the day. Okay. You are still obviously a woman. So women don't typically do the whole locker room kerfuffle. That's a male thing because you got perverted men that want to be able to dominate and be in the space of women. Women can't do that. That's just not really how it works. All right. But yeah, this is a man. This is a woman, a biological XX woman. This is not a man. This is a transgender male, a biological female.
Start at the early ages. So if you look at like psychosomatics of children, they start to voice and self-actualize.
And in this particular segment right here, she is saying that she knew she was a man at a young age and that it's okay to be 12 years old and become a transgender, like Dwayne Wade's boy, who now identifies as a girl. But I don't want to spend too much time on that, so I digress. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay, now let's check this. What do you do if you are driving a vehicle, like, I don't know, an Amazon delivery van, and you get hit by a train? Well, not really, kind of, sort of. Your vehicle gets hit by a train, but you don't. What do? All right, let's check it out. Let's check it out. All right, hold on 1 second. Let's load it up. And here we are. Now, I don't know how this whole thing happened, but it did. This 1980s car chase. What is this music all about? I don't know. Let's turn that off. I don't want to get a copyright anyway. So my man, I'm not sure what he's trying to do, trying to avoid the actual. Oh, there it is. There goes the train. I have no idea how my man got hit by the train. There's no little things that come down the bars. There's no lights or anything like that. You see the tracks. How did you get hit by the actual train? Maybe what happened, there might be a traffic jam in front of him. I have no idea. But his whole vehicle got cut in half by the actual train. And of course, you still got to find your device, your tablet. You got to find that. Hey, check it out. I know I got a few routes that I'm supposed to be on right now, but it might be a little bit late. Your package might be a little bit delayed. Okay, you wanted a package of boxes, some diapers or something like that. Well, hey, man, it might be a couple more days before it get to you because, yeah, the whole backside of my vehicle has pretty much been obliterated by the train. If you guys don't know, I'll play it for you one more time. This is an Amazon van driver, and his van got sliced in half by a train. I don't know how he got caught on the track or what happened. And you're going to see it, boom, right there, it hit him. Now, luckily, he wasn't hit himself. And his face was hilarious. He's like, yo, did you see his face after he got hit? He's like, oh, man. And then, man, how did I make it out of that? How am I still living? And then he's like, really, the back of my van, for real, on my deliveries? Look at his face. It's like, for real, today? Is that going to happen to me today? Shaking his head. I can't believe it. So lucky as lucky could be, because it's a literal train going full speed. If you're right there that close and your vehicle gets cut in half and you are totally unscathed, God was on your side. God was on your side that day. Was it because of the mask? That's hilarious. So the mask protected him. Nah, God was on his side that day because he could have easily got deleted ASAP. All right, let's keep on rocking and rolling here. Speaking about somebody almost being able to get deleted. Now, I'm gonna turn this off. Hold on. Okay, we don't gotta have the music. Actually, I might want to play it a little bit. Now, this is crazy. The caption says, a man claims the officer threw him off the tier while escorting him to the showers. Now, of course, this is a prison or a jail, something like that. You got a tier above the first, like a little two level with the cells. They are escorting him to the stairs, and he's going to do something crazy once he gets to the actual stairs. All right, you ready? My man literally jumped off the side of the actual stairs and bang, hit the ground. Like, sir, sir, you really going to try to say that he threw you off the tier? My man, you did a whole jump. You're like a seal in Disney World jumping out the water, trying to get a little piece of anchovy or whatever. Look at this. Look at my man. I believe I can fly. Sir, really? These guys are a mess. The hoaxes are crazy. The hoaxes are out of this world. Speaking of hoaxes, can we watch the gas station robbery hoax? I mean, I don't know what Harold and Kumar were thinking about trying to do a thing like this. This was crazy. Hold on.
That were inside.
Let's go ahead and throw this up right quick.
Police say there are also city cameras outside that they say showed the supposed robber changing clothes before he spoke with police. Duluth police say everything you're seeing in this video is staged, from the fake punch to the careful collapse.
The fake punch was crazy. Hold on. I gotta get out of the way a little bit. Let me see if I can move my my camera. Okay, hold on. Well, actually, I'll move it over there. That'll work. You gotta see this fake punch.
Duluth police say everything you're seeing in this video is staged, from the fake punch to the careful collapse.
That punch was crazy. I mean, I done seen better punches in WWE. I done seen better punches in little kids' backyard wrestling. That punch was out of this world nuts. And then the collapse. What in the Bollywood is going on here, Mr. Raj Patel? And I'm not being racist. That is literally his name.
The then supposed robber leaving the gas station with cash. When the employee starts moving again a minute later, it takes nearly 30 minutes for him to call 911. Hey, you all right? Duluth police showed up, and the clerk told him someone with a weapon just knocked him unconscious.
He has a knife in the pen.
While searching the Shell gas station on Buford Highway and Old Peachtree Road, the officer spots someone by the dumpster.
Come here.
He works here? He says he works there too, but can't explain why he has a large amount of cash in his pockets.
You got cash falling out of your pocket.
I got cash. Police didn't arrest anybody that day, but once they were able to review the video about a week later, it appeared to show a phantom punch, and police had more evidence the robbery was a fake.
The video was crucial.
Corporal Ted Sadowski says the incident happened January 21st. Police treated it like an armed robbery, using every resources until they charged both men with working together to steal $5,000.
Well, okay, as I said in my previous video, we got black and browns working together, okay? We got Willie Johnson, I think his name is something Willie, Atlanta man. We have Atlanta man and Punjabi man working together in unison, making it happen. So shout out to them. You have the cashier right here, Mr. Patel. My man over here is also an employee. They work together to stage the robbery. Now, I know for 100% certain Mr. Patel's cousin, who probably owns the gas station, is furious. Why you think the robbery? Why you do the robbery? Like, he's upset. Why rob this store? Don't rob this store. I can't do my Indian accent. I got to work on my Indian accent. Shout out to the Indians, though. But this was crazy. You would never go back to Punjab with that kind of behavior, sir. That's not how you guys are supposed to be doing with your gas stations. That's not how that works, my man.
$5,000.
It obviously takes a lot of resources to put something together and put a closure on this.
The cashier, Raj Patel, and the supposed robber, Danny Curtis, both now face felony conspiracy charges.
You know, no Academy Award shouldn't be given on this one.
Yeah, definitely not. Curtis has a criminal history, so he's being held in the Gwinnett County Jail without bond. As for that cashier, there's an active warrant out right now for new felony charges.
Now, what do you want to bet that Mr. Patel already went right back to, already went back home? As soon as this whole thing happened, yo, I'm out. I'm not going to the penitentiary in Atlanta Metro. I'm not doing it. I mean, what kind of idiots? But you know what? Like I said in my video, people do dumb things like that because they're dumb. If they weren't dumb people, they wouldn't do dumb things. What's your man? Sorry for that back in the background. What's your man Forrest Gump say? Stupid as stupid does. That's pretty much what's going on right there with my man. Okay, now let's keep on going here. We got a lot more things I want to show. We got some climate people acting the fool. This is a pretty interesting clip. The caption says, Bill Maher destroys the climate grifters for flying everywhere on their private planes. Now, you're going to hear Bill Maher talking, but you're also going to see at the bottom a bunch of private planes leaving Las Vegas after the Super Bowl. All these rich, famous people having these private jets, private planes, going from one place to another. You know how much fuel, any kind of jet, plane, anything like that in the sky, you know how much fuel that these things consume? My goodness. It's out of this world. So when you got people like Al Gore, Greta Thunberg, flying all over the world, many times private, talking about you got to reduce your carbon footprint. Well, you first. If you, Mr. Gore, stop flying private all over the whole world, you could reduce the carbon footprint by a lot. Your private flights are more than hundreds of Americans' regular consumption of energy every year. Every year.
Now enjoy this fun photo collage of some of your favorite stars.
RP to the headphone user, sorry.
Politicians who speak about the need to reduce our carbon footprint, but who are always on private planes. That's right, all of them. If you don't see a celebrity's picture here, it's because we weren't allowed to use it. Or their series got canceled. But all the environmentalists of Hollywood and Washington do it. Their position on climate change is, we must do more to stop pouring carbon into the air, except for me when I want to go somewhere and then I take a private jet.
That's all facts. That's all facts. Now, Bill Maher, I'm not necessarily a huge fan of Bill Maher, but when he's right, he's right. I mean, you can't say that he's wrong about that right there. They all fly private all over the world, but at the same time tell you, hey, man, please reduce your carbon footprint. As I get off my Learjet, as I get off my G85, whatever they got, please reduce your carbon footprint, Mr. Who does not really fly at all. You might be driving the 95 Toyota Corolla or something like that. They're talking about reducing your carbon footprint. Okay, cool. Now, my man right here cemented his feet to the ground. Wait a minute. They're saying one thing in the caption, but I don't know if I believe this. I'm gonna read the caption. They're saying that he actually cemented his feet to the ground because the price of soy milk is too much. I don't know if I believe that one, man. But look, okay, let's put it on the screen. Now, do you guys really believe that that's what's happening right here? Okay, let me just zoom out a little bit so you guys can see this really.
To put my sign up high.
Sure.
No way. So he has a PETA shirt and the PETA sign. The shirt says "End Vegan Milk Upcharge," and then the sign says Starbucks "End the Vegan Upcharge." No way. I don't know if I believe this one.
Save the planet! Save the cows and the vegan upcharge now! Save the planet!
And then her sign says "Vegan Upcharge, udder, UDDER, nonsense."
Save the cows and the vegan upcharge now! Save the planet! Save the cows and the upcharge now!
And then the guy across the street says "Soy milk sucks" in his own homemade sign with a big jug of what appears to be regular milk.
Save the planet!
You'd like me to put my...
There's no way I believe my man cemented his feet to the ground. Yo, you know what? Check it out. If you cement your feet to the ground, I say, you know what? Just go ahead and stay right there. Just stay right there. You could be a statue. You could be something. I don't know what you're going to do. By the time you been there for a week, you would have been lost enough weight to free yourself because you're going to be skin and bones at the end of the day. That's crazy. These vegan warriors, look, if you're vegan, that's fine. I'm not tripping. But doing all this is a tad bit excessive. Just a scotch. Just a scotch bit excessive. Okay, maybe that's me just not really being empathetic, but I don't know. Speaking of empathy, Killer Mike, the rapper, this is really crazy. Okay, now I don't know who let this man talk to kids, but let's not do that anymore. So you got little kids, you know, probably about early elementary. I'm thinking maybe about 6, 7, 8, not much older than that. Maybe before about 5 or 6 years old, little kids. And they're telling Mr. Killer Mike, the rapper who just won a bunch of Grammys or whatever, they're telling him what they want to be when they grow up. They're telling him their dreams. You know, when you were a little kid and they ask you, hey, little Anthony, when you grow up, what do you want to be? Oh, I want to be a rocket scientist. I want to be a doctor. I want to be a firefighter. I want to be a police officer. Now, nowadays, I don't know what they say. You know, when I was a kid, it was one thing, but now they might say I want to be a streamer. They might say I want to be something else. I don't know. But these kids are telling him what they want to be when they get older. And you got to hear what he says in response. Let's check it.
I'm a scientist, and I'm trying to find a cure for cancer. And I'm going to make a rocket that can go into the sun.
Now, I'm going to pause right here because copyright reasons. I'm not sure where this comes from, and I don't want to get a copyright claim.
What do you want to be, Ron?
A president, and I will make
You want to be a president? Yes, Mason.
I forgot to tell you, I'm going to be a scientist, remember?
Yes.
And I'm going to make this potion that will make my whole family superheroes.
Let's pause right there. We got some interesting faces. These are small little kids just being asked the typical question, what do you want to be when you grow up?
You owe your parents not to dream big. You know, you owe it to your parents to dream practical and start making money as soon as you can.
So this idiot, this dream killer is saying you owe it to your parents to not dream big, to make money as soon as possible, to be practical. What? These are little kids, 5, 6 years old. What are you saying here, sir?
you're not going to be able to be president. Do you guys know what a carpenter is?
Yeah. Yes, my dad worked for a carpenter and now he has his own business. Scientist.
So he's saying, hey, think practical, don't dream big. Do you know what a carpenter is? This little boy don't even got his front teeth. What are you talking about being a carpenter for? Okay. I understand the whole thing about some guys, you know, okay, everybody can't be a basketball player. Everybody can't be a streamer. Everybody can't be, you know, something that they want to, some kind of glamorous thing. Everybody can't do that. But let the kids have dreams, because somebody got to be a scientist. Somebody got to be a doctor. Somebody's got to do these things. Somebody's got to innovate and create things in this world. And if you kill dreams in kids early, then that kid will have a much more difficult time being able to reach that particular level. Because at one point, Steve Jobs was a little boy. Elon Musk, same thing. Whoever invented this cell phone or all the things and the apps in it was a little kid at one point in the same situation, being asked, what do they want to do when they grow up? And a lot of these little kids, they get their dreams fostered with practical things. Okay, they get sent to camps, they get sent to workshops, they're educated a certain way, they go to school, they read on their own, they do things. Okay, that's just how that works. And he said, oh, well, you can't be the president. You owe it to your parents to not dream big. You can't be the president. Why can't you be the president? Look, there's only 3 qualifications. 35 years old, natural born U.S. citizen, 14 years in the USA. Anybody can be the president. They said Trump couldn't be the president. Oh, you're a game show host and you're not really serious. You're a clown. You're a buffoon. And then he became the president. Anybody can do it. You're a dream killer. Why would you do that? That's crazy. That's crazy. I'll tell little kids, you can do whatever you want to do. Be whatever you want to be. All you got to do is work hard, go hard, achieve your dreams, and really be serious about it. Okay? And think big. Think about everything. That's what I would say. Now, if we're 15 years old and we're in high school and we don't have any kind of... One thing I'm going to say is that when you're talking about interests that kids have, these things should be fostered early. You see kids they kind of... You kind of see where they're going. If they're into creativity, if they're into building things, if they're into like deconstructing things, you might want to kind of foster that interest. Put them in certain kind of activities. Have them in different activities, physical activities, have them in certain little extracurricular things of this nature. So then they can foster those skills when they get to be older. I was always interested in any kind of thing dealing with my hands, any kind of like playing with Lego blocks, building stuff. So then, and we in the hood school, we're not rich people. So there was after school program where we built an ultralight airplane when I was like, in 8th grade, we built an ultralight airplane. Let me see if I can show you guys. And we're in the hood school doing this. This is not a rich school. We got flying roaches and everything, but you can find a way to get kids involved in certain things at an early age. All right. And we flew in the plane actually after we built it, but we didn't fly in the one that we actually built. They brought an ultralight plane in and flew us up around the field when I was probably about 12, 13 years old. All right. After school program, stuff like that. You got to get involved with it. If you want to do sports, that's fine too. But that's what you need to be focused on. Hold on. It's like a glider, basically. Yeah. So I was in something like that. We built that when I was in the 8th grade. And then after the 8th grade, I got into robotics. I was soldering, and then I got into wood shop. We built sheds and things of this nature. So now I got all kind of power tools. I got everything. I can do basic repairs. I could do basic things around the house. I can install, if I need to install a new sink, I could do it. If I needed to repair, like there was a slight bit of damage to my garage door, I was able to fix it. I could do things like that because as a kid, I wasn't told you can't build something like that. You can't do something like that. My interests were fostered as a kid, and I was able to continue. Now building computers is nothing. I'm a big tech guy because as a little kid, that light in me was given energy and not dimmed out. But anyway, I'm getting triggered, so I digress. Killer Mike, you're a dream killer. You know, let's keep on rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay, I got a good video I want to show you guys, and then I'm going to show you something from Big Fani and some more. This is a narcissist versus an autistic person as a skit. Let's check it out.
I'm a narcissist. I'm autistic. Hey, man.
Let me start from the top so you guys see what's going on the screen.
I'm a narcissist. I'm autistic. Hey, man, I took your lunch out of the fridge for spite. It's completely fine. You were hungry. What? You're not mad at me? No, it's fine. If you're hungry, just take the lunch. But you know I don't like you, so, like, why wouldn't you be upset with me? Look, I'm not hungry, and you could have the lunch. It's fine. You didn't have to ask. You know, next time I'll bring you a lunch. Look, bitch, I can't seem to figure you out. Why is it that you're not mad with me? Well, because you're broke. No, I'm not broke. I took the lunch out of the fridge because I just wanted to have power and control over you. No. Didn't you tell me that you grew up in a poor neighborhood? Yeah, I grew up in a poor neighborhood 20 years ago. But I'm not poor now. I just took the lunch out of the fridge to spite you. Where are you going? Well, I think you're broke and you don't have enough money to buy a lunch for yourself. Because, like, remember that one day you took my drink out of the fridge? Well, I didn't forget that, and I did some research on you. I figured out that you have criminal records, that your mom was a former prostitute and that she abused you. I read it all in the affidavits in your court document. I made you a hyperfixation, and, like, I know practically everything about you now. And I know that you're broke.
Like, what do you, at that point, what do you say? It's like, yeah, you got me. I am broke. I'm not just some kind of bully. I'm not just trying to have power over you. I'm really broke and I'm hungry. And I took your food because I was starving to death.
So yeah, go ahead. You can have my lunch.
Hilarious. Shout out to whoever made that skit. That was perfect. Perfectly done. Very tasteful, very relatable, and a nice bite-sized portion. I really enjoyed that. Shout out to him. All right. Very, very good. Now, speaking about narcissists, if that's a word we can use, Fani is back in church. I don't know what it is about Fani Willis going to church and venting whatever she got going on with herself. If I was her lawyer, I would say, hey, check it out. I know you want to get your story out there. You want to talk to the people. You want to be seen and heard, and you want to be famous. But look, let's not do any more church visits, okay? Let's not do any more talking. Let's be quiet, because now your church visits are being put in court documents. They're talking about your church visits in court. That's a bad sign. That is a bad sign if you're in court testifying and they're saying, hey, you went to church on this day, you said this and this and this, and you're being questioned about your church sermons. That's never a good sign. But she's back in church with yet another video. Check it out.
Let me tell you something that I've learned very, very recently, because you may need this lesson as well. You know, people keep sending me scriptures, and I appreciate those scriptures, but different people from all different walks of life keep sending me this one scripture, and I don't think I ever really heard it till maybe 2 days ago.
Now, let's pause. First of all, she's in an Adventist church, which is crazy. Nothing against you guys, but it's like, okay, you were somewhere else. You were in Big Bethel AME. Now you're at an Adventist church. Why are you going from church to church? Can you not go back to the other one you went to before? Anyway, and then the guys standing behind her. Like, what are y'all even doing? Why are you standing behind this woman? Y'all know this lady is a nut. Why are you even right there? This is crazy. I would not have her. If I was the deacon, the pastor, whatever, I would not have this lady in my church home talking crazy at the pulpit.
People send you stuff, you read them, they just kind of become things you recite, but you don't really think about what they say. The scripture they keep sending me is, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. I need y'all to hear me though. They did not say the weapons will not form. And that's the part I didn't hear until recently. Just because they won't prosper, it doesn't mean that they won't form.
Fani, we got documents. Girl, look, we got documents. We have evidence. We got paperwork. We got credit card receipts. We got people in court testifying that you and Big Nate were fornicating before you hired him. What are you talking about here? Why are you in church doing this? Please stop. Please stop. And everyone who is allowing her to get up there and say this ought to be ashamed of themselves. They ought to be ashamed. This is crazy.
Even if you feel like everything you are doing in your life is the right thing, and you're making mistakes all along the way, but you're trying, you should not think that those weapons will not form. The other lesson that I've learned.
This scripture, I'm getting some PTSD here, because I've heard this same scripture. I've heard this same sermon before. I've heard the exact same sermon before. Okay, I could pull up the sermon I heard before, but I don't want to go down that road. So let's keep on going.
In this 3 years is God ordains those weapons. He puts those weapons in your life to form against you. And if you really understand him, you become in your maturity to understand he does it for a reason. And it's to grow you, and it's to make you stronger, and it is to prepare you. And so my only request from this family today is, this is a really hard job I'm trying to do. And I am an imperfect human being.
Oh my gosh. Look, listen, what does your job got to do with you and Big Nate fornicating on the side? And allegedly you funneling some money through him to go on cruises and vacations or whatnot with a married man on top of that. Ain't that a sin? Coveting a neighbor's wife? Ain't that what you were doing? Coveting his wife, talking about she's getting in the way and she's just trying to, you want to be her. But okay, let me stop.
But I can literally feel the people who loves me's prayers. If just every now and again you'll throw my name in a prayer, God hears his children. I would very much appreciate that. So I thank you for this honor today, because it is an honor worth having when it comes from a group of people such as the people that worship here.
Why go to church and do this? Look, listen, if I'm a lawyer, I'd be like, look, no more church visits. If you go to church and the pastor say, does anybody want to stand up and give testimony today? Does anybody want to praise God? You sit down and shut your mouth. Don't say a word, Miss Fani. Don't say anything. If they invite you up there, matter of fact, don't even go to church. Do the online church. Just watch it on TV. Watch Joe Olsen or somebody on TV and have your little Bible right there on the bed like Griselda Blanco. Don't go nowhere. Stay in the house. You are not really in a position to be doing stuff like this. But when you get people that don't really care and they want to get their story out there to do whatever they want to do, they don't really care about getting locked up. She might feel like she's bulletproof and she won't get locked up. So she'll go out there and say whatever. That's crazy. That's totally crazy. But that's your Fulton County District Attorney, Miss Fani Willis. Okay, that is her. Now, there's more I want to get to here. Okay, I want to kind of go backward a little bit because I want to talk about someone else in Fulton County. Let's talk about this lady right here a little bit more. I think I mentioned her last time, but I got to speak about her again. Nicole Fegan. This lady is a nut. Now, there's another case that Fani is prosecuting. There's two big cases right now. One is with Donald Trump, of course, and many others in the election interference case. The other is with a rapper by the name of Young Thug. And as a matter of fact, let me go ahead and pull Mr. Young Thug up so you guys can see who I'm talking about, get a little bit of a visual representation of this fine young man. All right, let's see what's going on. All right, and let's show Jeffrey right quick. All right, this is Young Thug. Okie dokie. Hold on. That's Young Thug right there. And he is being accused of leading a gang called YSL. They have allegedly been involved with 50 murders in the Atlanta metro area since 2014-ish. One of the murders is allegedly a guy by the name of Donovan Big Nut Thomas. This man right here, Young Thug, a.k.a. Jeffrey Williams, allegedly rented a vehicle that was involved with the death of Donovan Big Nut Thomas. Now, Big Nut and Fani Willis were an item back in the day, allegedly, according to what the streets say. So some say Fani is prosecuting YSL in part because this man right here may have been involved with her ex-boyfriend's death back in 2014, 2015. Okay? So that's the link between this case and Fani Willis. If not for Fani, this case might not really be. I'm not saying that it shouldn't be, but it might not be. Now, this woman right here is Nicole Fegan. Now, Nicole Fegan is a lawyer, or was a lawyer, for one of the guys in the YSL trial, one of Young Thug's alleged associates. Okay? That's Nicole Fegan, 30-something years old, a lawyer with a degree, the whole 9 yards. All right. Now, why is she making that face? Well, we're gonna get into it. Here's part of an interview she did before. I'm not quite sure when this was, but let's watch this. It's all going to come together.
Shaw was a local lawyer down here, and he totally paved my way. He went into civil work and was done with criminal, started my referral base, and then I met a rapper down here, Pee Wee Longway.
Pee Wee Longway. We're going to see Mr. Longway in a minute.
And he definitely put me on.
So Mr. Pee Wee Longway put her on. What does that mean? So Pee Wee Longway is an Atlanta rapper and an alleged Crip gang member, allegedly. He may have been able to put her on with other rappers in the area, right? And you see the big smile on her face. Yay, I like that.
There you go.
All right, now, here is Mr. Pee Wee Longway. That is her friend that she met in Atlanta. That's him right there. Now, he appears to be a very upstanding, fine young gentleman, right? Fine young gentleman with tattoos on his face and all over his body and gold teeth in his mouth. All right? Very upstanding gentleman. No criminal activity going on there at all. All right? If you saw this guy in, let's say, a Quick Trip parking lot at night, you are going to get your pistol ready. All righty? A nice young man, Mr. Pee Wee Longway. All right? Now, here is a rap song. You ready? Here's a rap song with Miss Nicole Fegan in it with one of her rapper homies. Maybe one of the guys that Mr. Longway put her on to. RP to the headphone users. Let's start from the top.
This another situation, another situation. This another situation. This right here a situation, not a situation. Pull up top like Ronald Reagan. Pull up on a situation. I got Prue Nicole Fagan. I got thoughts that come from situation. This another situation, another situation. This another situation.
This is a song made for Miss Nicole Fegan or whatever. And you see her brand, the Got Proof. We're going to see a little bit more of that in a little bit. And the reason why I'm showing her is because, again, she has been arrested for, guess what? Gang activity. Mr. Pee Wee Longway might be a gang member, and the guy she tipped off in the YSL case might be a gang member. So she, this 30-something-year-old white lady, wants to be down with the street culture in Atlanta, Georgia, and got locked up as a result.
This right here a situation, not a situation. Pull up top like Ronald Reagan. Pull up on a situation. I got Prue Nicole Fagan.
So there you have it. That's Nicole. We got a little bit more from her. We got more. Oh, we do have more from Miss Fegan. All right. And this is her with the actual bonnet on. It's like a shower cap, but she's making it into a bonnet. And she's white, so there's no need for a bonnet. I'm not being racist. This is a hair thing. My hair is different than a white person's. It is what it is. Black women use the bonnet for their hair because they want to protect it. She has no need for a bonnet at all, but she's wearing it because it's part of her brand. The Got Proof.
Got Proof Chronicles. You know, all weekend I saw videos of rappers going back and forth, talking shit and threatening each other. And there's two things I want to say about it. One is, if you're not really about that life, then you just gave the state their entire discovery packet. Like, even if you didn't pull the trigger, they're still going to say you called the shot. You're going to be in court watching your videos, looking back like, damn. And two is, if you were about that life, then you wouldn't even talk about it.
So that's her and a big social media following. And here's the one she's talking about what it's like dating the street dude. And there's Jeffrey on the left-hand side, just for a cross-reference, Mr. Young Thug, maybe one of her rapper homies.
Now, if you're messing with a man that's in the street, then you need to understand the position you play. If you're sitting there and you're getting nice dinners, you're getting some shoes, you might be getting a purse, then when it's you're down too. You might have a minor setback, but you're going to have a major comeback. Another thing is, you don't need to be sitting there asking who he's talking to and whether or not he's cheating. He's not cheating. And frankly, you don't need to ask him what he's doing anyway, because you already know he's not doing it. Instead, you need to be Googling some to talk to him about so that he can get his mind off his situation. Another thing is, you don't need to get all in your feelings and lose your self-esteem, and you don't want to be confident. You think he might be wanting to move on to another girl. He don't have no options right now, first of all. Second of all, you losing your confidence takes your sexy swag off. You already know that's your man. You're going to hold him down. When he get out, he going to hold you down too. So don't forget. Now,
you cannot make this stuff up. Let's be clear. Context. This is Miss Nicole Fegan, a lawyer who has been arrested on gang charges for tipping off one of this gentleman's friends in the YSL case. And the guy that she tipped off wasn't even her client. One of her clients is in the YSL case, or was, but one of his friends allegedly, and one of her client's friends allegedly, was facing a murder charge. She saw some documents in, I don't know how she saw it, in court. And she tipped the guy off saying, hey, they want you for murder and they have evidence. How about you ditch your phone? That is illegal. You can't do stuff like that as a lawyer. Now she might go to the penitentiary and make big rocks to little. As we speak, she's already been locked up. She might have posted bail, I'm not quite sure. But she will go to the penitentiary for doing this if they're able to prove it, which they probably will be able to. So that is Nicole Fegan. Do I have more from her? I think I might. Oh, I got one more. I got one more. Now, somebody said that this person right here is or was Nicole Fegan back in the day on Scared Straight, and apparently the Scared Straight program didn't work. Let's watch.
I see Tucker, we behind these bars. All right. You Tucker. All right.
So apparently the Scared Straight program didn't work. She's still gang. Because you got locked up on gang charges and now you're going to the penitentiary, big rocks a little. So you can be behind the wall having a good old time with your fellow hooligans. All right. Usually Scared Straight does work, but maybe in this case it didn't really stick too well, and she's not really feeling the effects. So hey, it is what it is. We try to save these kids, but it doesn't work. I know it's not her on being funny, but if that's not her, look, if I was to say that it is her, it's a question like, hey, is that really her? It could be. So, hey, shout out to Nicole Fegan and whoever that is in the clip right there. Hopefully you're not in the penitentiary. All right. Let's keep on going here. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. You guys say it's not really her. Look, I had no idea that it wasn't her. I had no clue what. Come on. Anyway, speaking about penitentiary, Sam Bankman-Fried is locked up in the Brooklyn Detention Center. He's not in prison yet because he has to get sentenced. Like, he's been convicted but not sentenced. So once he gets sentenced, then they're going to send him to the, up the river. All right. So that's your man, Sam Bankman-Fried, on the right-hand side, obviously, next to his jail homeboy, Mr. G. Lock. G. Lock. Now, I'm not sure if that's a cool way to say Glock. I don't know. But Mr. G. Lock did an interview with Tiffany Fong. And shout out to Tiffany Fong. I don't know how she got this picture. I don't know how Mr. G. Lock reached out to her to give her this, but she got it. This is the only jail picture of Sam Bankman-Fried that exists. And we all know about SBF. This guy done stole $1 trillion. Well, not quite. I think it was, $10 billion from FTX that he mismanaged, gave a bunch of money to political people. And will any of these politicians bring any of the money back? Would they refund anyone who was victimized here? I don't think so. But yeah, that's Sam Bankman-Fried and Mr. G. Lock. So let's go to the interview.
What's up?
With Tiffany Fong and G. Lock talking about Sam Bankman-Fried and what it's like being behind the walls of Brooklyn MDC, the Federal Detention Center.
Guys, it's me, Tiff, and okay, listen, I've made some new friends, some new recent inmate friends, much to my parents' chagrin, but I've managed to get my hands on the first and I believe the only photos of Sam Bankman-Fried ever since he was thrown in jail in MDC Brooklyn in August 2023. In case you don't remember, Sam Bankman-Fried obviously already went to trial, but no one can bring electronics into the courtroom, so there were no photos of Sam that came out. And from my understanding, no one's allowed to bring electronics into prison or jail visits, so there may never be any more photos that come out of Sam Bankman-Fried since he's already in jail. So here are the photos, and I've actually interviewed this man standing beside Sam Bankman-Fried. I call him G-Lock, and he's an ex-Blood gang member, and I'll be posting the interview on my YouTube channel in the next few days. My YouTube channel is just my name, Tiffany Fong. Also, according to G-Lock, these photos were taken on December 17th, 2023, because apparently inmates are only allowed to take photos on Christmas and Father's Day. So anyway, this photo is somewhat recent. It was taken after Sam Bankman-Fried was convicted on all 7 criminal charges. And as you can see, he's hanging out with other inmates.
Now, SBF faces a lot of time in the penitentiary, like 115 years, something crazy. He was found guilty on all of the charges. I think it was 7 charges related to wire fraud, things of this nature. Because, be clear, $10 billion, poof, Bernie Madoff style.
And he looks a little bit out of place, and he's obviously lost some weight, and I've heard that he's not showering very much. He's not as clean-shaven as he used to be, but he's obviously going through a lot right now.
Listen, first and foremost, my son Sam Bankman is clean-shaven, you heard?
Was.
Yeah, was clean-shaven. Now, scruffy than a motherfucker. Like, he got a full beard.
Does he have a full beard?
Literally, full beard connection.
Holy shit.
I'm like, Sam, what are you doing, bro? He's like, I'm just gonna try to grow it. I never did it before.
The SBF impression from Mr. G. Lock is hilarious. That's a hilarious impression. If you guys didn't hear him, really heavy New York accent, obviously. He's saying, my son, Sam Bankman, and in New York, everybody's son. That's just like saying my friend. That's what son in New York means from my knowledge. I'm not a New Yorker, but I know a lot of New York guys. That's how they talk. He was like, Sam Bankman is clean shaven, but then he had a full beard, scruffy connecting, big beard.
Really, his depression though, for me. Sam had a belly when I met him. He had a belly. He was eating good, you heard? Mm-hmm. Skinny, like a toothpick right now. He's not getting in the shower. He's not doing anything. He lost it, so
Yeah, he's not showering.
So, it's New York accent. So he's saying that he came in with a big belly or a belly, and now he's skinny. Not eating a lot, not showering a lot, let his beard kind of grow. That's what's happening with Sam Bankman.
Not showering.
Yeah, Gene told me he wasn't showering back in the day.
No,
he's still not showering? Yeah. Do you think it's because he's afraid of the rumors about dropping the soap, or do you think he just...
Oh, shit.
That's what I was wondering about.
I'll say, I don't think so.
Really?
Those are things that used to happen in the 90s and the early 2000s and stuff. This era, that's not really going to happen.
Doesn't happen anymore? He doesn't want to make himself too pretty for the other men.
So G-Lock is saying that that's not really a thing that happens too much anymore. People getting assaulted in jail. Prison is different, obviously, but jail is not. you got a lot of boyfriends and girlfriends in there, if you understand what I'm talking about. So it's not so much like you would see in the movies in a jail setting, although some of that does happen. And yeah, RIP to the headphone user. Sorry for the loud noise. My fault.
Oh, so it doesn't. That stuff doesn't happen.
No, that's the kind of.
That's good. So no one's beating him up.
No, nobody's beating him up.
Good.
You know, it was just that one incident.
I hope that me posting this photo doesn't upset Sam, but G-Lock said that when the picture was being taken, it was around Christmas. And apparently Sam was like, oh, so I'm not in the photo, so he joined the photo. So, I mean, the photo exists, so I'm just saying, I'm not trying to piss Sam off by posting the photo. So again, I will be posting the full interview with G-Lock in the next few days. I'm just a really slow editor, and I don't have a team to help me, so I'm doing all of this myself, and I don't really know what I'm doing, okay? But I did want to include this little clip with G-Lock that we took after the interview, because according to G-Lock, Sam Bankman-Fried is more gangster than Tekashi 6ix9ine. Sam didn't snitch on anyone.
He ain't snitch on nobody. Sam is a gangster. My mom told you that if he was black, he'd be a real nigga, bro. Real shit, bro.
Yeah, RIP to the headphone users. Tiffany, if you're watching, you got to normalize your sound so you don't have really high highs or low lows. Keep it all the way consistent for the headphone guys. So when you editing, Miss Tiffany, have your headphones on so you're able to hear the differences. And you can see it sometimes when you're in Premiere Pro. You can see when you peeking and just try to edit that down. As you edit in video, also edit your sound.
So Sam has some street cred now because he's not a snitch.
Yeah, he's official. Bro. Sam is more gangster than Tekashi 6ix9ine.
So if you guys can't understand him, you're saying that Sam Bankman didn't snitch on anybody and he's more gangster than the rapper Tekashi 6ix9ine because Tekashi snitched on everybody that was in his crew to get out of prison.
Gangster than what?
Tekashi 6ix9ine. Sam Bankman stood on all 10 toes. Tekashi, you ratted.
So yeah, that's what's happening with Sam Bankman-Fried. Imagine, did anybody have it on the bingo card that this gentleman right here would be the one to give a jail update on Sam Bankman-Fried? Did anybody have that on their bingo card? I mean, maybe you would think about some news organization trying to go get an interview or something like that from inside of jail in Brooklyn MDC. I think that's a federal detention center. Maybe you thought that might be happening, but nope. We got G-Lock and Tiffany Fong. Shout out to the journalists out there doing independent work, bringing the real news straight to the people without going through all the rigmarole and the red tape and all the old school media. Okay, exactly. So I was saying the same thing. It's like snitch on who? He was the head dude. Yeah, there was nobody for SBF to snitch on. Everybody wanted to snitch on him because he was top of the food chain. There's nobody he could snitch on because he was the one doing all the wrong things. So yeah, shout out to Tiffany Fong and G-Lock for the update on Sam Bankman-Fried. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all of that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right, there's more I wanted to get to, but I'm kind of out of time right here. I'm gonna play this one last clip. Let me see if this is 100% and no headphone user audio crazy. Let's check it out.
Did Hunter smoke crack at the White House?
Excuse me.
He does look remarkably like his brother. That's James Biden, the younger brother of President Joe Biden, going in for his on-the-record testimony, but is...
All right, one more time for the reporter. I think that's James Biden, Joe's brother.
Did Hunter smoke crack at the White House?
Did Hunter smoke crack at the White House? You know what? I'm sure he did. I'm sure he had a little tooting in there for sure. Why not? Down the bathroom somewhere, down on a little cut, he might have hit a little bit of that powder. Yeah, hit a little bit of that rock. Why not? Once a crackhead, in the case of Hunter, that is, always a crackhead. Shout out to all the recovering addicts out there. Hunter Biden is not quite the recovering addict. I don't think so. All right. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. And let's get to super chats. Then we're going to get to the calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. And you know what? I know a lot of these questions get asked for shock value sometimes, but I would like an answer. That'd be a great answer for sure. All right. Hold on. Wait. I got to play this right quick before we get to the super chats. Please, I got to play one more clip. So shout out to Woke Preacher Clips at Woke Preacher TV. It says, wild rant. This Connecticut pastor gets the Hammond organ going at the climax of a sermon with at least 4 sections exiting Fani Willis's disqualification hearing. All right, let's watch this, please. Fani! All right, my man. Hooping for Fani Willis is absolutely nuts. This is unhinged behavior. Hopefully, nobody is in this church. I'll play this, then I promise we're going to get to the phone calls, okay? But I got to see this just for me, all right, and for you, because now we got to watch it together. All right, let's watch.
He wanted to let you know that I ain't got no problems because of the God that I serve. God already healed me. God already delivered me. God already blessed me. There's no power in this courtroom. There's no power in your questions. I'm here because I want to set the record straight. Sometimes you got to let your troubles know you won't take me out today. You won't have your way today. I'm letting you know that I'm stronger than you. I'm letting you know that I can defeat you.
I don't hear an organ. I'm kind of disappointed. I want to hear the organ in between his hoops. Okay. He's a big man too. I want to see the sweat pouring.
How do I know? Because I serve a God that can do all things without fail. And how do I know about this? It reminds me of the 3 Hebrew boys that was in the fiery furnace that decided to say, I will not bow down to King Nebuchadnezzar. And King Nebuchadnezzar had to say, if I threw 3 of them in there, why do I see 4 in the furnace? I don't know about you, but when King Darius ran across in the daybreak to see if Daniel been swallowed up by the tender lions. Here we go, Daniel. Long live.
What are you saying, sir? Like, how is this connected to Fani Willis?
The king, the God that I serve, has shut the mouths up of these lions, and I'm still here today. I need to know that even when Paul was in prison, they began to start singing those old.
There we go. There go the organ right there. Okay. I'm satisfied now.
Hymns of the church, amazing grace. How great is our God? And the jail doors flew open.
Okie dokie. That was about Fani Willis. For some reason, Fani wanted to let you know that I ain't got
no problems because
of the God that I serve. Okay, all of that for Fani Willis. Now, if you guys know how that sermon connected to Fani Willis, please let me know, because I'm lost as lost can be. I'm lost as lost can be. Look, you know what? I think I'm done with the preacher clip. Hey, you know what? I think I've had enough of those. I've had quite enough. I don't want to have Fani and church be a trend together. I don't want that to be happening. Let's not have that be a thing. Okay, let's have her exit from the church situation. Okay, let's keep on going to the super chats, as I was going to do before I got sidetracked. All right, shout out to McNeil Bay for becoming a supporter. Shout out to you, boss. Thank you to Stephen Soar, who says, big love from England, ABL. Proper appreciation. Thank you for that. I appreciate you as well. Thank you to Gar Fofsky for the recommendation, who says, you demand ABL. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. Thank you to Robert Manley, who says, love your show. Appreciate you for that, boss. Thank you to Tony Hay Munkits, who says, you gifted some membership. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. It's always good to gift memberships. Thank you to Stephen Soar, who says, I tried H, but I didn't like it. Speaking about Kodak. Shout out to Rita's Lover, who says, ABL, you're the best. The Butler family loves you. Thank you for that. I really appreciate y'all for watching. Shout out to Xen Takeo. If I put your name on, I'm sorry. Zen Takeo says, take my money. Shout out to you. Thank you to Johnny Favreau, who says, ABL, you see the guy who grabbed all the Girl Scout cookies off the table from the young lady and her mother? I did not see that, but that's crazy. I mean, where's our civility Girl Scout cookies, really? You gonna do that? That's crazy. That's absolutely unhinged. Guys that do stuff like that, I mean, look, gulag, not penitentiary necessarily, but yeah, nah. Penitentiary, big rocks, little rocks, a gulag, quite literally. Go there for doing stuff like that. Thank you to Osmora199 for becoming a member and upgrading, and also gifting memberships. Appreciate you for that. Thank you to Frederick Craig, who says, has anyone ever noticed after Patrice Cullor scammed her way to billions, other black liberal women in power follow in her footsteps? Libs copycat. Yeah, I've noticed that. That's been a thing about grifting resources from political apparatus. Thank you to Lothair, who says, ABL, this is an idea for your Uncle ABL channel. Make a cartoon video making fun of the scam artist, and you should use your Uganda accent. I don't have a Uganda accent. I got a Nigerian accent. But shout out to you, boss. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. Let's get to the actual calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. And there's also an email for Skype in the description. If it doesn't work right, don't blame me. Blame the white man. It ain't my fault. Let's keep rocking and rolling. All right. The Girl Scout. I might need to cover the Girl Scout. Shout out to the Hodge twins. I might need to go ahead and check that out for sure. All right. There we go. Let's go to 470. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, Bill. Hey, it's Greg. I'm calling from Wild and Wacky Atlanta. How you doing, sir?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
Well, you hear the violence in the background, so you know what's happening. I played that for NKM. He's one of the guys in your live chat. So he said last week he missed the gunshots and the explosion, so I thought I'd play it for him.
Well, there we go. Appreciate that.
Yeah. I don't want to let my fans down because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here, right? So anyway, about Fani Willis. Oh my God, she's just digging her grave deeper and deeper. Her case is shot. It's all over with now, man. This whole thing, I paid, Nathan Wade back with all this cash because I'm a strong, independent black woman. No, that's not the case. It's called money laundering, and you use that campaign money that you kept to pay Nathan Wade back.
Yeah, that was a very telling admission. She said, well, yeah, I had campaign money that I kept in cash. I'm like, well, wait a minute. You can't do that, can you? You can't keep campaign money just in cash in your house. That's not how that works.
Right. No, but remember, when she goes to the Publix, she has like an extra $50 left over after she spent that cash from, the taxpayers of Fulton County. And then she takes it and throws it in the jar. And then she uses that money to pay Nathan Wade back. So, it's money laundering. It's quite clear. Right. I just discovered this video on YouTube from Another Stupid Week, who's a great YouTuber, by the way. Discovered this about 4 hours ago. And I want to play 18 seconds of it for you if I can.
Go for it.
Exposes her dad for what he is. Can I play it?
Sure.
All right, listen to this. This is Fani Willis's dad.
After the election, I was so pissed off at that. How could this Texas cracker come here and run the black community? I was just livid. Who are you referring to? Just Big Daddy Fat Texas cracker. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Now, I'm sorry, he used offensive words like the C word, but this guy is clearly a racist. I didn't think he was originally in the court trial, but, birds of a feather flock together, and so the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. So that's how his daughter turned out, too.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I tried to find out who he was talking about. He says just something, the fat C word, and I don't know who he's talking about in Texas that won the election that he was so pissed about. But, this is, he's showing his true colors. Pardon the pun. So.
Right.
Yeah, man. So this says a lot right here. She is just so, God, I can't stand her. Even it's more personal for me because I was born here in Fulton County. I'm from Atlanta, and I'm not a bad driver, by the way. But it's just ridiculous. Oh my God! ABL, if you were driving around Atlanta tonight, you'd be screaming your head off. If you're the most devout Christian, you'd be cursing worse than a sailor. I'm like, get the F out of my way, stupid moron. Cursing left and right. You couldn't help it. I think that half the drivers in Atlanta took the short bus to go to school. I honestly believe that. They don't signal. They're rude. They cut in front of you. They just do all kind of stupid stuff, you know.
I agree. I've seen some crazy things out there on the road. It make no sense at all. None.
No, they don't. And it gets worse when you get on Old El Paso, which is what I called Buford Highway.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's where all the illegal border hoppers drive. You know, they just started driving. They didn't have driver's licenses in their country. They don't have driver's licenses when they get here, let alone car insurance. And yet they're driving on Buford Highway. It's insane. I'm like smacking my palm against my steering wheel saying, you know, this isn't Honduras. And everybody's trying to fight to get in the middle lane so they can avoid getting stuck behind people that are taking a right turn, you know, and then behind getting stuck behind those orange buses, which are so unnerving, and it's just irritating. Oh my God, it's a nightmare, you know? So, wow. There's no wonder why road rage is a problem here in Atlanta, you know? Not justifying it, but I kind of understand why. There's some road rage here. Kind of makes sense. But anyway, there's one last thing I'd like to share with you. I discovered a Southern restaurant called the Southern Grill or something like that. It's on Presidential Parkway in Doraville.
Okay.
Southern Grill or something like that. You know, check it out, man. The food looks really good. I'm going to go eat there probably next month, and they do all kinds of cool stuff, and their prices are really good. Anyway, sorry, I don't want to take up too much of your time. I just want to say, you know, F Joe Biden, and still Ultra MAGA, Trump 2024.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Thank you. Take care. Have a good night. Bye.
All right. So yeah, shout out to my man for the call. Great call. Yeah, shout out to Atlanta. I'm a big fan of Atlanta. Atlanta, I love it. I'm moving out there soon. Well, I ain't gonna say I'm moving out there. I'll be there visiting a lot. Put it to you that way. I'll probably go back and forth. It's like right down the road. I'm pretty much. I say that I live in North Atlanta. Where you live? Tennessee. Close enough. All right, let's keep on going. Let's go. 708. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello?
Hello.
Is this ABL?
Yes, it is.
Hi, this is Andrew from Illinois and Derek.
Hey, what's up, ABL? Big fan of yours.
Thank y'all. I appreciate it. But do me a favor. Turn the stream off in the background for me, please.
Yeah, we're trying to get off. We're excited we got through.
Right on.
We're turning it off.
All right.
Yeah, he does Uber driving, so we listen to you quite a bit.
Well, I appreciate y'all for calling in and being fans.
Yeah, we appreciate, you know, your politics and stuff. Very informative. You know, keep up the good work. You know, telling people the truth. Just glad to talk to you and listen in.
Oh, right on. Got to do it for y'all. Y'all keep me going, so I appreciate y'all for the support.
Hey, it's no problem. Hey, man, you have a good night.
Same to y'all.
Thanks.
All right. Shout out to you guys out there. I appreciate y'all. You know, I really enjoy the couples calling in. Really, really enjoy that. Shout out to you guys. 504 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL. It's Alien Spaceship.
All right, man. What's going on?
All right. Great show. I like the coverage on everything. And, yeah, I think that was interesting seeing a picture of Sam Bankman-Fried. I was wondering about what he would be looking like because he, you know, got himself into a lot of trouble. And it was interesting to hear about what he's doing in the the jail. And, you know, he got in a lot of trouble, and now he's understanding the consequences for his actions.
Oh, definitely. And, you know, he's in really deep trouble. This is not just a matter of, you know, a slap on the wrist, you go a couple years and go home. He's pretty much toast. So, hey, whatever happens now is whatever happens. Hopefully, you know, he stays in jail and doesn't come out anytime soon.
Exactly, because he scammed so many people out their money all over the place. And yeah, I guess he just thought he'd get away with it or something, or like the power went to his head, or he thought he was invincible. And then he just, he lost it all. And it was interesting to see that. And I'm glad that there's independent journalists covering these things.
100% correct. Absolutely.
Yes. And also, I think you made an excellent point about how, like, kids should be inspired to do things like they want to be an astronaut or whatever they want, a president or whatever. I think that is very important because a lot of times, some people, as you could see in the video, try to put kids down for things that they want to do, but they should be encouraged to do those things.
Exactly, because at a certain point, someone has to do it, and it needs to be the new generation to be able to innovate and to add things to the world and keep humanity going. So if there's no dreamers, if there's no innovators, then we don't have any kind of forward progress.
Exactly. And like Steve Jobs is a good example. And that's cool at your school. You got to build things and stuff. I had an art class that was very good, but I didn't do something specific like that. That's very interesting.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And also I remember one time, like one of the people at the school when I was younger, they were talking to me and I was talking about I want to be in politics and stuff. And one of the people like evaluating me were like, oh, this is like an unrealistic idea of being involved in politics. But now I am involved in politics, as you can see.
Right. Absolutely. I mean, that's kind of how life is. You never know where it's going to go. So you should always be able to just explore yourself. And, once you get later on, now you can settle on certain things and just go forward with that.
Exactly. And also like the Titanic I was interested in. I built a model Titanic and I got to do a lot of the things that I dreamed about in my teenage years and when I was a kid by YouTube and stuff. And I think that's really cool how the dots connect in the future. Steve Jobs said that the dots connect in your future when you maybe it doesn't make sense looking forward, looking back. And he's very right because in my future, it makes sense looking, in the future now.
Absolutely.
Right. And also, I think that was a crazy video you showed about the people trying to fake a robbery. And it's like they thought that they could get away with stealing all that money, but they did it very poorly. And then they got caught and they're in trouble. So it's just, it's real stupid of them to do that.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. And also, I think, have you heard about the situation with the debt in the country? It's like, there's something where it hasn't been, I'm not quite sure, like, it hasn't been like, the Fed hasn't really given a position about it right now, and it's causing the markets and stuff to go down.
Yeah, I mean, the debt is causing all kinds of problems. I've not heard about it specifically affecting the market, but I mean, I don't see why it wouldn't affect the market because it's out of control and it's not getting any better anytime soon.
Right, and there's a lot of spending they're doing, and that's what's causing, that's not helping the situation. Another thing I was doing is on top of that, the situation over in the other parts of the world, our countries getting involved in those conflicts, because I was researching more about the Vietnam War, and our country got involved in another country's civil war, and I think that America must learn, not us, but the people running it need to learn to not get involved in other people's problems. And I'm glad that Trump got us out of war and he didn't start any new wars.
Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah. All right. That's all I have to say for this call, ABL. Thank you for taking my call.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Okay, bye.
All right. Shout out to my man. Great call. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right, let's keep on rocking. 859, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Yo, ABL, how's it going?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
I'm just chilling out, playing some GTA and, listening to your live show. And I love Uncle ABL. It's a fantastic channel. The ideas, I think you should do that cartoon. That would be hilarious. That would be funny. That'd be like a big, F you to the scammers. I can totally see it, and you probably get some of the callers who call up here doing the voice acting. That'd be great.
Right on.
Oh, by the way, there was one video you did on Uncle ABL. You explained why people in their 30s or 40s would go for women who are younger. I'm like, it's understandable. I mean, look at my situation. I tried dating girls my age, and they say, "Oh, you're not good enough." And you're talking to a guy who has 3 vehicles. One's a motorcycle, one's a car, and one's a truck. I live in a 2-bedroom apartment. I have better credit. Everybody else is paying more money in their rent compared to mine. I have a stable life. And he said, "Oh, you're not stable enough." My whole living room looks like the inside of Spencer's Gifts. What are you talking about? I have so much disposable income because I work 2 jobs. I bust my butt to try to get there, and I'm still saving up and I'm still working out. I have a busy life, but I'm not good enough. And then I'm talking to this girl from Japan, and I've been talking to her off and on. She comes every summer for about a week or so to hang out with me. And she lives in another country. She doesn't have high standards. Women in Western society have really high standards. It's crazy.
Yes, it's a lot going on. And, what I want to do on my new channel is just talk about all those different things and things that are happening right now in the world and what everybody's going through. So that's the whole purpose of that channel, is to talk about, just to give a different element to, things that I know.
And I'm like, and some of my, there's some people who kind of shame me for it, like family members, like, "Oh, you're dating this younger chick from Japan who's like 24 years old, God forbid." And
how old are you?
No, she lives in Japan.
How old are you?
Japan's what is it?
How old are you?
I'm 34. She's 20.
That's not even the big gap. That's like super regular. Yeah. That's super regular, man. I mean, yeah. Plenty of people's mama and papa got that same kind of age gap. That's nothing.
Yeah, exactly. And they shame me for it. It's ridiculous. It's like, she's a consenting adult.
Yeah, it's like either we adults or we not. That's the main thing. Like when I was,
she has a PhD in college. I never been to college. I went to trade school, and that's about it. She likes me for me. It's crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
But when I say, "Hey, I went to a trade school," it's like all these women like, huh. But all these college kids, they're paying like tons in like college debt. I'm not, and it's just like, the whole inflation they expect when you're 34, they expect you to have like a Maserati. It's like, that's unrealistic.
Right.
It's insane. And then, but a girl from another country who has probably a better economy than us doesn't care about my wealth, but I'm shamed for it. It's kind of crazy. It's just like, it seems like women have more privilege than men sometimes in society on certain aspects. That's the only thing I'm saying.
Right on.
Hey, man, thank you very much for taking my call, bro.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Hey, just think about that idea. It's a funny idea. So, Libertarian out. Hoorah.
All right, now. Shout out to the caller. Great call. Yeah, people just want to hate. That hate, the whole age gap hating, that's hate from people that can't compete. So, naturally, they just want to hate because it's all they got. They want to. It's not even about him specifically. It's about anybody that's in that age group. They want to be able to have for themselves, or have the option to have for themselves. But I'm getting too deep into that particular topic. Let's keep on rocking. 904. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL. This is Nikki. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing well, man. How about yourself?
Good. I'm sure you heard about this. That Biden announced the approval of his $1.2 billion in student debt cancellation today. Yeah, and I'm actually a student. I'm already graduated. I actually work for the government now. And I have about $26,000 in debt. Now, this plan only forgives debt for people who have less than $12,000 in debt and have been paying on it for at least 10 years. Which, it kind of sucks for me. I mean, I don't basically get to partake in it. But my question to you is, do you think that this is a somewhat reasonable student loan forgiveness plan compared to like just outright forgiving everybody, which I don't agree with personally, even though it'd be nice?
It's okay. It's nothing because do you know what the actual student loan debt bubble is?
No, sir.
Okay, the student loan debt bubble, and chat, please, if I'm wrong, correct me. It's 1.7 trillion with a T. 1.7 trillion. So let's just read that full number out. That's 1,700,000,000,000 in debt. So what's 1 billion out of 1,000 billion and 700 more billion? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's nothing. I mean, by the time that debt actually gets wiped away, there will be more debt on top of that would surpass it.
Right. It's a nothing burger, as you would say.
It's a nothing burger. It's just meant to create news. That's all. It doesn't do anything really. We give more than that to we give more than that to Ukraine every couple of weeks, like an allowance.
You're right. That's so true. So yeah, you're right. I didn't even think about it like that. It's nothing compared to the actual amount that's out there. Now that you say that, I didn't even know it was that high.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, okay, I see. It's just a little news just to try to, please people's ears, even though it's basically nothing.
Right on. I mean, I go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just remembered that story you were going over about the lady who wasn't paying her student loans for I don't know how many years, and it ended up blowing up in interest to like over $500K or something. And you were saying, what, did you just make no payments? You never paid a single time?
Right.
I just started having to pay mine. That's why I asked, but I appreciate your feedback on that, ABL.
No problem, man. Thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Have a good night.
Same to you. Yeah, man, the student loan debt bubble is crazy. And people, they see these headlines and think it means something. But again, somebody said it, 1.7, shout out Sanso Bartez. Sanso Bartez says 1.74 trillion. I mean, 1 billion out of 1.74 trillion is like a drop in the bucket. We give Ukraine 30 billion, 40 billion, but you, regular taxpayer, here go $1 billion. Take that. It's like getting $1 from your mama to go buy some cookies and a coolie at lunch when you're in the 8th grade. You want to get a coolie. When I was a kid, getting a coolie, and if you're from Virginia or had lunch that was like this, you know what it is. You could go on the snack line, and in the snack line, it was different from the regular line. Regular line, you might have a little lunch ticket or something. If you got free lunch, reduced lunch, you might get that. It might be 25 cents, 35 cents, 50 cents, or whatever. You go to the snack line, you can get the cookies, them little flat chocolate chip cookies, one in the pack. That was like 40 cents. And then the coolie was like a little jug of sugar. That was another 40 cents. You could go get that. Okay, so for your $1, you could get a coolie and the cookie. That's the equivalent of the $1 billion student loan forgiveness. Here, have a coolie and the cookie. Boom. But then your older brother, Ukraine, he's able to go get a car and drive to Chipotle during lunch break. That's the difference, but I digress. 513, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, it's Wes. How you doing?
Oh, well, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right, man. I can't complain. I wanted to call about the caller recently from the 859 area code. I recognize that. That's Northern Kentucky, or at least ish. I'm from 513. So that being said, I get what he's saying. 10 years is a big age gap, and especially when you're younger. I mean, if you dated a girl younger than you in high school, like, you were creepy. And that's only by 1 or 2 grades. But recently my grandfather passed away, and he passed away at 93. And I come to find out that his wife, which is not my grandmother, he actually remarried, is in her 70s. So, like, I'm doing the math, and I'm like, at my age, that would be creepy. But on the other hand, he's in his 90s, and she's in her 70s. I would tell that guy, if you like the woman from Japan, that's it, man. Pursue what makes you happy, as long as it's all, I don't know, I don't want to say legal, but I mean, like, all good.
I mean, hey, they're both adults. They consenting. That's what I always say. You got 2 consenting adults. That's not my business. All right. Now, when we're doing something else, when people are underage or when they're disabled, now we're doing something criminal. But beyond that, y'all adults, man, it's fine.
No, that's exactly what I was saying. I was actually even thinking more of, like, is she? I was thinking more of like the green card thing.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know enough about that type of stuff, but like, yeah, exactly. She's 24, he's 34. Go for it, dude.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to, it piqued my interest because I heard the 859 area code, and I was like, yeah, that's Northern Kentucky, man. That's right across the river. I'm in Cincinnati, so hey. All right, well, I don't want to take any more of your time, but hey, dude, do it.
Absolutely. Right on, man.
Whoever that dude is, man, do it. All right, ABL, have a good one.
Same to you.
Later.
All right. Shout out to the call. Great call. Yeah, man, I told you, like, your mama and your papa had an age gap, too. That wasn't no thing. And, you know, they got 15. They might have had 8 kids and 25 grandkids and everything else. And 55 great-grands. I mean, people just kind of weird. But again, all of that whole age gap, the hating on the age gap thing is because people, that's how they compete. It's through emotional manipulation, making you feel better about dating somebody that's younger than you are. At my age, to be in my situation in life, to be about 40 years old with no children, you date somebody that's also 40 years old. I know, like, I got cousins that's my age that got kids already in college. So what can I do with that situation? If I wanted to have kids and start a family, you're not starting a family with somebody that's 40 years old. Obviously, at that age, can you even have any more kids? Do you want any more kids? You already got 3 kids in college. Do you want to start with a whole brand new baby? When you got a 21-year-old, a 19-year-old, and a 17-year-old? No, you don't. But anyway, I digress. That's going to be the kind of content I talk about on Uncle ABL. And if you guys have not subscribed to it, please do so. All right. Let me go ahead and throw the link in the chat for you guys. 702, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Yeah, hey, it's Tony. Hey, Munkets.
All righty. What's going on?
Well, I just wanted to say, because I want to talk about Fani Willis for a second, or her going to church and stuff. And, you know, it's one thing if you don't believe in Jesus Christ, you know, it's, you know, people have the choice to do what they want to do. But, you know, to actually go to church and use that to better herself, I think that's like pure evil.
Yeah,
it just really bothers me.
It really is. And I see it as a thing that's disrespectful. And she's doing it on purpose because she could easily just talk anywhere else. She could express herself elsewhere. There's no need to do it in church, but she's doing it as kind of a shield. She's using religion as a shield to disguise the bad things that she's doing. So I really find that to be problematic.
Yeah, exactly. I also think, you know, I mean, obviously, if she was a true Christian, she'd get down on her knees and repent for what she's done. You know, and, you know, we're all sinners. I'm a sinner. Shit, I'm drunk right now. I only call you when I'm drunk because that's when I have the courage.
Oh, boy.
And, you know, well, I'm not that drunk. I'm just saying, you know, we all do what we do. And, but I don't expect any, you know what I mean? I would never use God because I go back and forth with God too. I fight him all the time. You know, I love him, and then he does stuff for me. And then when it happens, then I kind of walk away or whatever. And I come back when I need him again. I mean, we all do that type of stuff, but I would never use God to, you know, to portray to somebody else, you know, that I'm a good person or something. You know what I mean? It's just horrible. And it just shows who she is. And I think, you know, she really messed up because people see that. But what I can't believe is that the people in the church that allow that to happen. You know, I would think that they would be like, you know, hey, we love you and we'll forgive you, but you know, you need to apologize or repent for sleeping with somebody else's wife. You know, I mean, come on, right?
Right. Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, I'm rambling. I'm sorry. I love your channel. I've had so much fun tonight in the chat, and you know, I love everybody here. I've been watching you for years, like I always say, but I only recently joined the live chat, and I love the people and I love the community, and I really appreciate you. You know, I appreciate you a lot because you don't force your opinions on people. You show true things and let people decide. And I love that about you. I just think that's great. I appreciate you, man.
Thank you for your call.
But I digress.
Right on. Thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Thank you, brother.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Great calls. Keep on rocking and rolling. The number to call, 434-658-1220. 513, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL. It's Wes from Cincinnati. I had to call because there was another Wes from Cincinnati that called, and then you had your boy from 859, and no cap, as the cool kids say. I just wanted to call first. I've been listening to you for a long time. Just wanted to call and just say thank you for everything you do. Love your show, brother. Have a good one.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Thank you, man.
All right. Shout out to all the Kentucky guys calling in tonight. Shout out to all the guys named West out there in the Kentucky area. I was close to that area. What was that? In 22? Going to West Virginia, because when I drove back to West Virginia, you know, see my grandma and them up there, all my family, I went through Kentucky. So I came up like from Chattanooga to Knoxville, and then from Knoxville up to like, what's that right there? Jellicoe, Plant, you know what I'm talking about, that area right there on the border. And then I came like past Lexington, and then I took the eastern route on 64 going right close to Ohio and Huntington, going through Huntington and then to Charleston. So I was in that particular neck of the woods out there in Kentucky. Let's keep on rocking and rolling here. 323, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, ABL. How you doing?
I'm well. About yourself?
I'm great. This is Joe from Los Angeles. There's been so much going on with the Republican to Democrat allegedly election coming up. And I don't know about everybody else, but on the West Coast here, we get like bombarded with ads from Adam Schiff and about how bad the economy is and we need to change, blah, blah, blah. And I agree. But the thing is, he's leading in the polls against everybody else. And I'm thinking, okay, haven't people awakened to this democratic system we're in, but they're still continuing to push Adam Schiff in as the next senator. I'm thinking, okay, so is it going to be different with Joe Biden and all the stuff we see with all the corruption and the lies and the betrayal? I just don't think nobody's changed yet, to be honest, because if people want Adam Schiff as the senator and they see how California is so bad, they don't want nobody else except this guy who's I don't know, he's just out there somewhere, but he's not for the people. So do you ever think that, like, this is going to ever change with people just voting Democratic because they're a Democrat, knowing that that we need change? Do you ever think that's going to ever happen? That's just my question.
I don't know. I mean, I think some people are going to change over time, but if you've been voting one way your whole life and you're 65 years old, you might not change. But I'm not going to say that for everybody, but generally people that are kind of older are going to kind of stay stuck in their ways for the most part. But for younger people, I think they might change more than their parents would change, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's amazing that people are still like betting on this guy to go back to the not only the whatever he does here, but he's going to be the next senator in Dianne Feinstein's place. So I'm like, this is unbelievable. And he's been after Trump too, by the way. He's he's just another one of those pawns in that scheme to get him out of office. But and people don't like Biden. They don't like what he's doing. They don't like the Democratic, but they're still getting this guy through. I'm like, I just can't believe it. I'm just done, So, but it is California, but I just can't believe it. I mean, what will it take for people to wake up and say, look, this is enough. This guy's been there for 20 years. I don't know how long he's been there, but he's been there for a minute. We need to get somebody else in there, a Republican, just to see what the waters look like. We might not like the guy. Give him 4 years. We can vote him back out. But it's crazy. It really is. And I just believe in the end, this is my prediction. And take it what you want to take. I don't think Fani Willis will be remanded for what she did, and I believe that Biden somehow is going to get back in, even though, or the Democrats, it may not be him, but whoever's running, is going to, retain the power because people are just not waking up with all this stuff going on.
Right on.
Yeah, so that's just my opinion, but it's amazing. It really is, and it gives no hope for for MAGA country or anybody who sees all this stuff that's wrong, and they need to go. But it's just like, okay, God, why is Adam Schiff the front runner in California when he's a Trump hater and he's done nothing but cause a lot of lies and frustration to the voters. So I don't know. We have to see, but I don't think anything's going to change. That's just my opinion.
Well, we're going to see. Hopefully, there's some kind of change, but California might be a little bit too far gone. And something else that's happening is that a lot of people that may want to vote differently just straight up left the state. So that kind of weakens the chances of different voting happening in the state of California.
Yeah, and this guy, his commercials are like every other commercial is him, running his mouth about what he's going to do. I'm like, okay, golly. This and the other two. Well, we know about the black lady who wants a $50 minimum wage hike, but nobody else knows who else is running except them two because of the press. But anyway, yeah. Well, okay. Well, that's all I wanted to ask you because I'm just like sitting here. And I'm like, this is like I cannot believe that this guy is going to be a senator. But here we go.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you very much, and have a nice show. And I appreciate all you do.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Yeah, California's going to California. That's not really a surprise to me, unfortunately, but it is what it is. That's just the name of the game out there in that particular part of the country. So shout out to you guys again. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. This is a podcast you're listening to right now. It'll be available on your favorite audio streaming platforms, whether that be Google Play, Apple iTunes, Spotify, etc. Link for that will be in the description, or just go to your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. So yeah, Senator Adam Schiff, how about that? But it's California. What are you going to expect? California sucks. If you live in California, shout out to you. You guys are great. But the state itself, the politics from the top is bad. It's bad. It's really bad. I couldn't do it. You couldn't pay me cash money to live out there. I like where I live. I like this particular neck of the woods. I like being close to the mountains. I like being close to the country. Not the desert. It's no humidity, no moisture country. I like being close to the wild hogs and the deer and all that good stuff out here in MAGA country. That's where I would like to live. In MAGA country, North Georgia, all that. Where I can go 100 miles an hour in my Mustang at night and don't nobody say a word. That for real. Like whenever I come up here, North Georgia, that particular part, yeah, I'm burning rubber. Boom, going hard, and it's fine. And it's all good. It's all good. It's no problems. I might see the officer on the side of the road. Hey, what's going on, officer? He might be watching the show, watching the car drive. Who knows? Yeah, but California, and they got so much natural beauty in the state. And I understand why people want to live out there and why they want to fight for their place, but it's just so much ridiculous nonsense. It's just, what are you really going to do with it? I like being out here. This is like, I grew up obviously in Virginia. That's not far away from where I live. West Virginia, where I was born. I got a lot of my family up there. That's not too far from where I live. And I'm still in the Appalachia area. And then I can go to Atlanta, bigger city area. I like Atlanta. A lot of people don't like Atlanta. I like it. But for me, it's good for me. And then I could fly. Florida ain't too far away. Love Florida. Amazing. Tampa. If I was to live anywhere else in the U.S., it'd probably be Florida. Love Florida. Tampa, Miami, anywhere like that. Top tier. Top notch. 773, you're on the line. Who's speaking to?
ABL, it's your retired Chicago police officer friend. Thanks for taking my call.
No problem.
ABL, well, first of all, I just wanted to say the one caller that was talking about the college loan forgiveness, that is a election ploy. It's nothing more than street-card money on a street corner, the shell game. they put that out there to try to get some votes from the younger people, and then it comes up with nothing. Didn't they learn from the last time he promised that? Please. It almost pertains to no one what they're offering, so you could forget that. Anyway, I wanted to mention ABL, with the Harvard professor, the black Harvard professor that did the study, actually did the same book or the same study twice, where, it said that the police are not as likely or not any more likely to, shoot blacks as much as whites or whatever. Well, here's the thing. What the police want, we want compliance. As simple as that. And the police in the city, they just map the crime. They map the crime. Where does the most crime happen? And when you see that, for instance, in Chicago ABL, on the north side, there's these white gangs. It's, sketchy areas on certain parts of the north side. And so you'll have more white people being arrested and everything up in that area because of the population and who's up there. And, in the middle of the city is more Hispanics, and that's who you have arrested because you have Hispanic gangs, and on the south and west sides are the blacks. So we just map the crime, and of course you're going to have more interaction with the police when you put more police in those areas. If we didn't, it would really be a free-for-all. And then the other thing I wanted to say about the crime is some of the videos that you were showing is the boldness of the crimes that have happened. It used to be that you had to know how to hotwire a car to steal a car. Then they come up with the idea, well, why not just take it right from somebody on the street? And that's the whole thing, ABL. When there's no consequence to your actions, you don't prosecute. You let people out. Well, this is the kind of things that happen. And you know what? You can see it in Mexico and other places, how boldly these gangs just surround your car, stop traffic, and take you. It's the boldness of it. And we don't want that in our country, and we've been getting that in our country. You're not safe even just driving in traffic anymore. It wasn't that people broke into your house when you weren't there. Now they just break in when you are there. As a matter of fact, they're going to follow you from your bank to your house. You have to have some kind of consequence for this kind of behavior. And one other thing, ABL, if I may, you talk about the black community being persecuted and everything else. In a way, I agree with that. And where do I agree with that? Because doesn't the government always try to put and hide things in the black community? They're going to put these migrants in the black community. It shows that they don't respect the blacks in the black community. That's where they're going to put all their problems. When you have no bonds for crimes, a lot of these people are going right back to those kind of communities, unfortunately, but that's what's happening. This is a good time to plead to the black community that, forget, because back in the day, Democrats meant poor people and Republicans meant rich people. And it was that simple for people, ABL. Rich and poor. I'm voting for people like myself, the poor. I'm not voting for those rich people. But it's really come down to voting for common sense. What's best for you. Look at these policies the Democrats have given you. It's okay to vote Republican. It's okay. It's not something to be ashamed of, because Republicans and Democrats aren't as simple as what it once was, voting for the poor or for the rich. You need to take a stand on this, and this is a good time to get people that wouldn't likely be Republicans or vote Republican to be on your side. We are the common sense party. You have to vote, close the borders. Have some common sense to everything. Prosecute people. There's enough laws on the books to prosecute. You don't need to make more laws. There's enough on the books. Just abide by the laws that were already there. We need to get more people into our party so our people, our people, practical people, can be elected. That's what I think we need to do. But anyway, that's my 2 cents, ABL. Thanks for letting me take a few more minutes, and I appreciate it. I'll talk to you later.
Thanks for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Thanks.
All right. So great call. That'll be a wrap for me. Shout out to you guys for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you heard tonight, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all of that good stuff. That will help me out tremendously. I'll be back live again, of course, same bat time, same bat place, right here on the channel at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturday to right around right now, 11 Eastern Standard Time. And this is an audio streaming podcast. If you want to check it out, audio only, no video. It'll be available on Apple iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, etc. Link for that will be in the description, or just go to your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. Shout out to you guys for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these internets. Shout out to you. Thank you for watching, retweeting, super chatting, whatever you're doing. I could not do the show without you. Shout out to the mods for keeping the trolls in check and keeping the chat nice and clean and tighten up. I got super chats on deck. I'll read those right quick. Then I wrap it on up, put the bow clean on top. And also, you guys, please subscribe to the Uncle ABL channel. It's doing very well. We're over 10,000 subscribers. I had about 8,000 to start. Now we're over 10,000. I think we'll hit 11,000. My goal is to hit 100,000 subs on the Uncle ABL. I have videos that are doing pretty good numbers so far. I like what I'm seeing. I'm encouraged. I'm getting a lot of positive feedback. This is going to be a really good channel, and I'll have a lot more content, a lot of different content from my regular political stuff. But I'm always going to put out regular content on this channel. I'm going to try to do it 7 days a week as much as I can. Sometimes on a Sunday, if I got time, I'll put stuff up as well. But for the Uncle ABL, I think I'll put out one video every day. That'll be my goal. And then eventually I'll do 3 a day every day, which is going to be, that's going to be something, but I think I can get it done. If I got my man Anton over there kicking my back end with the content, putting out 18 videos a day on 15 channels, he has a full corporate job, I can do it as well. And this is all I'll do for, like, if Anton Daniels can put out 18 videos a day on 15 channels and he has a regular full-time job, I can do that kind of stuff without the full-time job. So yeah, ain't no excuse. Let's get super chats right quick. I'll read those right quick, wrap it on up, put the bow clean on it. Lothair says, shout out to my Cincinnati friend who called up. Much love to you. Bengals all the way. Also, he says, no judgment here, brother. I'm doing some 420 on my phone call. All right, I think that's pretty much a wrap. I will see you guys again on Saturday. And until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out, and peace.